Compton crazy mother named Ice Cube. From the gang called Fellers with Attitudes. When I'm called off, I got a soda. Squeeze the trigger and bodies are hauled off. You too, boy, if you're with me. The police are gonna have to come and get me off your ass. That's how I'm going out. For the punk mother, it's going out.
Hello, everybody. Hello, TJC. Hello, GFORCE. And welcome to season two of Top 5 in Your Collection. And tonight, ladies and gents, we have the lovely Gary and the lovely Terry. How are you, boys?
All good. All good, yeah.
Thanks for doing this. I appreciate you coming on and doing
always
this.
A pleasure.
I enjoy it. It's funny because some of the lads have said it in the chat before. It's the stories. I'm dead interested because some lads will come on and say, "Oh, I don't know whether this is," but if it's something to you, your story comes out, your passion comes out. Do you know what I mean? So I'm like, this is brilliant. So thanks, fellas, for doing this. Let's have a look who's here before we get into something. Gerard is here. Hi, Gerard. Hi, GFORCE. Hi, Ian. Hello, Kieran is here and says hello, everyone. Ian and GFORCE. Look at this. Kieran saying hello. Mudorn's here. Lovely Hoppy. Did you see Hoppy put that lights in his new thing?
He's amazing.
Sickening, isn't it? Sickening how good it is. It goes through. You saw the lights. I was like, just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Hi, Jono. Good to see you. Hi, Rod.
Okay.
Kieran. Hi, Rod. Des. Back from his holidays, TJC's back from his holidays. Has he got a nice time? You have to. Are you going to Toy Fair next week? The Birmingham one.
I can't, mate. I couldn't get a hotel room for the weekend this time, so we tried to book it, but that was. I think there's about 3 conventions on this same weekend, and they're all staying in that hotel. So obviously that's just fully booked.
Right, got you. Can you not just? Is it too far to go down? Is it too far to go for the day?
No, I mean that's. I don't mind. It's only about what. 2.5 hours for me, if that.
2.5 hours, people snipped it shot for me. Knew that, innit? I love the way these English. Oh, it's a bit far out. That how far is it? Oh, it's about 2 hours.
So you got to bear in mind, I could probably get to Scotland from here in a car, probably 10.
Yeah, well, I did it from Blackpool to Edinburgh and back in a day. We went to Edinburgh. My in-laws came, and Wendy came with her husband, and I took him to Edinburgh Castle and back, and that took me about 6 hours there, 6 hours back. So we spent the whole day. Isn't it funny? I can do 2 countries in about 12 hours. Really brilliant. Well, the reason I ask is because if anyone sees, let me know how Desi's tan's looking. I bet he looks like George Hamilton. Do you know what I mean? Dead sexy.
Maybe he's tanned on one side, because if he's leaning, that'll shade it.
Maybe he's tanned.
He's got the Ziggy Stardust.
You have to keep swapping the lean so he even out, you know.
Oh, maybe so. Brilliant, TJC, brilliant. Oh, absolutely. Hi, you're our DTM, good old DTM's here.
Oh, Dave.
Our Des, we said hello. Wow, it's packed in here already. Palps is here. Hi, Palps, saying hello to everybody. Hello, lovely Catherine. Cat's on next week. Top 5 is on Tuesday of next week, and next week it's Keith and Cat Knight on next week. But the reason we're doing it Tuesday is because, as you know, I'm a toffee and Keith is a hammer, and Everton play West Ham Monday night at 8 o'clock. So there's no way we're doing it then. So it'll be top 5 next week will be Tuesday next week.
I can't wait. Arguments between you and Keith then. That's all right, yeah.
Yeah. He might not come on Tuesday, or I might not come on. Forget it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
How big are your muscles? Nice, lovely Geek Strong's here. Let's have a look who else is here. Wow, it's packed. Hiya, pal. Good old DTM. Hiya, Delvian. Good old Andy's here.
Andy.
Travels with Jason is here. The lovely John's here. Hiya, John.
Nice.
Terry, take your bus and keep it in. Take your bus and keep. Do you know what keeping it means, GFORCE? Yeah. Do you know what that means? Having a kip is having a sleep, having a nap. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Quick nap, yeah.
Take your bus and keeping it.
I won't be very comfortable, Kieran. I mean, I don't know. Even on the back seat, I got a lot of separator handrail things. You'd have to arch yourself. That won't be comfortable.
Here we go. No tan. We were up higher than Scotland. Oh, there you are. Here we go. Yeah, struggled though today, Delvian.
Yeah, I bet.
Struggled,
First day
didn't
back
he?
after a break.
Oh, that's right.
That's
He had a
the
cold as well, didn't he? He
He had a cold, but he's got over the cold, didn't he? So he's now got that. He's gone back to work and he's fine.
You don't mess about, our Des. Don't mess about. Matt's Collection. Hello, my friend. Good to see you. Good old Rhinos here. Hiya, buddy. Nice to see you too. Everyone else see the new Mandalorian Grogu trailer? I saw it.
I saw the bit that Si put in the chat when he was too busy laughing at. I ain't seen the whole thing yet.
All you gotta say there, TJC. Si saw it. Si saw it. You know what I mean? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. It was a bit Disney kiddie for me. Oh,
I'm not going to watch it.
That's gonna be that's a merch thing, isn't it? When you think about it.
Yeah. Hi, nice to see you. Evening, gentlemen. Evening to you too, pal. Mud on, not more than half a dozen times. Listen, I'm going to go and watch it. I'm going to go to the cinema and see it. Do you know what I mean? I like the AT-AT thing. That looked pretty cool. The AT-AT fell. But yeah, I'm not going to ruin it if you haven't seen the trailer. Yeah, watch it. It's pretty good. Let's have a look. Yeah, Shabby said toppy, thick, brown, and full of sugar. Oh, you're not kidding. Hi, well, Luke. Nice to see you.
Chat Shabby up. He's a married man. Like, come on.
Absolutely brilliant. Right, we were talking before we came on air, and I'll start with this first before we get into your top 5 about 3D printing. And it was weird. I don't know, how did 3D printing come up? Oh, I asked GFORCE if he had one, and I don't know, because we bought Lucy one, like I said, for Christmas. I think she used it twice. That was it. But are they worth getting? Are they worth, or how hard are they to actually? Because I tell you why I'm asking. I asked some of the lads about a month ago. I wanted to see if there was a code I could get something to make vintage He-Man stands. But luckily, I found some anyway. I found some ones that fit around the thing on Amazon.
You can normally go to some sites where you just go there and say what you want, and if they've got it a file, you can just download the file. And some, a lot of them are free. But then certain ones, if they've put something quite involved on there, the model's quite involved. They then turn around and say, I've spent a bit of time on it, so they'd want you to pay a small amount for the probably model. But once you've downloaded it and you've got it, you just load it in, and then obviously you can do as many as you like of it if you paid for it.
Yeah, I think it's, you know what it is for me though as well. Where I live, do you know where I live, GFORCE? I can imagine getting to about 7 hours and it failing. Oh, for God's sake!
Well, that's the downside of it, is they do fail. I mean, any error in the code, or like you get an air pocket in the filament as it's coming through the nozzle, it can fail. You know,
I mean, I've not got one. I'm sort of, like I said to you, I'm going through the 3D software to do some 3D modeling, to do like some new intros and stuff for the channel. But the I think from what I've seen, if you do something like complex, because I've seen this chap on YouTube who completely redesigns just about everything you think of. He's put new game console, and he's built a new innards for it, and he's put like all the internals out of the console and made it look smaller, or all sorts of stuff. I mean, he stripped the PS5 out and made a PS5 built into his desk, and then 3D printed everything and put fans in it and everything, and he 3D printed the cat. He was a really clever chap, and like I say, he done all that, but I think some of it you have to do supports for, so it doesn't sag and stuff in places. So you have to like print the support as well, and then you snap all that off to get your final thing off. Otherwise, that'll all just like bigger things.
And after you do that, you have to clean up where the supports were attached to the model. So you're sanding and filling, and it's a pain in the ass doing that.
I've got a great solution. If you ever get another one, Chief, just let me know, and I'll
just send your shit to me. I'll do it.
Just send it to Chief.
I'll just get it to you.
They're really handy though.
Yeah, I mean, I think for us, for toy collectors and stuff like that, I mean, and especially I was thinking of you, GFORCE, as well, because of all the stuff you make. Do you know what I mean? All
I 3D printed a knob for my tripod. Like I rescued some tripod out of a dumpster, and it had a broken knob. But other than that, it worked fine, and it was a really nice one. So I just 3D printed the knob. Works great.
Awesome.
Is it Superman's cape, John?
Question for Terry: is that Superman's cape?
No, it's just the curtains, mate.
He likes red silk, John. He likes red silk. I apologize if you see him a dog whining. My wife's coming, and I think I've said it on streams every time. My dog loves my wife, so I apologize about that. Saw the new Superman movie on HBO Max, says our Matt. Good flick. Glad I didn't pay for it in theatre. I went to see it. but I'm the same as you. It was all right. If I hadn't gone to the cinema to see it, I haven't missed anything. Do you know what I mean?
I watched it. I watched it at home. That was obviously you could rent it or buy it at home. Jace wanted to see it.
Yeah.
For the one reason. What do you think the one reason he wanted to see it was?
Crypto.
The dog. That makes sense. Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
He had crypto in his Fortnite game as well. That was obviously an add-on thing where you could throw like a super bone thing, and then that crypto would come down and take your enemy out or something. As a special thing. So he got right into it in the game and loved it. So he wanted to see the film because of crypto. So
got you.
He watched it, but he didn't mind it. I mean, that was all right.
Yeah, it was. I liked it. It was all right, but no. I tell you what, it's like I said, it was all right. But I wish I would have waited. Do you know what I mean? Why would Lex Luthor have Superman's cape, Jonathan?
Oh shoot!
He's got a point.
I'll take it as a compliment, Kieran. That's probably the nicest thing you've called me. But all right, I'll go with that.
It's these Liverpool FC curtains. I don't know about that.
Oh goodness!
Yeah,
they're everywhere, Shabby. They're everywhere.
Everywhere. It's disgusting. Although he's a Forest guy, and he our Palps. He likes I would have thought you'd say Forest there, Palps. I love the cinema experience. Can't beat the huge screen. I loved Superman. Yeah, I loved Jaws at the cinema. I loved Revenge of the Sith at the cinema. It was just, I don't know, maybe it was in there. I'll have to watch it again, Superman. I'll have to go in the right frame of mind and see if I can try it again or not. Maybe it's a good movie. I just wanted in the mood, but I just wasn't bothered. Not all heroes wear capes. Terry uses his skirt.
See, Dave, no.
He's got a good point. Hey, Gilster, good old Rob's here. Gilly. Oh, brilliant. Also, not much of a DC guy to begin with. Maybe that's what it is for me. Maybe it's, you know what I mean? Something to be said for watching a film with other people. It is if the movie's awesome. Like, I went to see Jaws and it was packed, and I went to see Revenge of the Sith, it was packed. And it's funny as well, I don't know whether you two agree with this or not. This is a movie myself and probably everybody in that theatre had seen how many times, but you get that experience, aren't you, watching it with people like, whoa, this is awesome. I couldn't take Jace to see Jaws. He'd have nightmares for years. I asked, my kids Suki went, and I was waiting for the bit. You remember, what is it, Jim or Bob Gardner's face comes out of the head comes out of the boat, and she was sat next to me, and I knew it was coming, and it was sat there. All of a sudden, she lifted about 3 foot and came out. You're all right, Six. You're
there. They come back down again.
Oh, brilliant. But what if you can't stand other people, Delvey? Well, it's not as if they're sat there talking here. It's not as if Delvey's holding hands and offering his phone.
Kick him out. That's what you do. Just to disturb your film.
The guy talking on his phone in the middle of the movie kind of ruined it for me. Was that in the movie or was that?
That was the interlude.
Jaws, it was brilliant. It was well. The weirdest thing is we went to see Superman, and I was thinking about the Jaws and about it being 50, and I said, "Oh, Jen, I wonder if they'll do something." You know, and there was a poster outside saying August, what is it? Jaws is coming out, and it showed a 4K trailer. And I tell you what, and it's funny, isn't it? Because I was one of those things. You know, we have these conversations, G-Force and Terry, where your at home cinemas are so good now. Do you really need to go to the cinema? But when I saw the Orca on the ocean, and I thought, yeah, this has to be seen up there. Do you know? Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, experience, isn't it? If you get the experience with the surround sound, the right environment, big screen, you can't beat that, can you? I mean, I think when I was a kid, the local cinema, I think that was an ABC cinema. Do you remember them, chaps?
Mm-hmm. I do remember them. Yeah.
Yeah. They used to have the ABC local one. It ain't there now. That's a shopping mall there now. Instead, they knocked it
I don't
down.
think there's any ABCs anymore. Is the TJC?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. And they're definitely not around here. The one near me was quite a popular one. But what they used to do on a weekend during the summer holidays, they used to do trilogies. So they'd do like the Rocky 1, 2, and 3. Then they'd do like Star Wars Empire and Jedi.
Yeah.
They'd do that, and then obviously they'd do like various different films in trilogies. They'd do the Star Trek trilogy one at the time, I think they did as well. But then they did Jaws 1, 2, and 3 on one week, and I went and watched that. It was brilliant. I like the Star Wars, Jaws 3 is kind of,
Yeah.
But they've just gone there and just watching that, like you say, the original especially. Number 2 weren't too bad either.
I think they should always do it because it's funny. I went to see Revenge of the Sith.
That was cheap as well, I think, from what
That's what I mean. Keep putting in the older movies, and we always have this assumption: cinemas aren't doing as well. Well, put in movies that everybody loves because, like I said, the past 4 probably movies besides Superman I've seen are old school movies, and I've gone took the whole family. And then you love this movie so much, you say to your kids, "Come on, get in the car. We'll all go." So
we had a big family, so like what Matt's saying there, you couldn't take the whole family out to the movies,
no, it's
so
pricey,
you had
isn't
to
it?
pack them all in the car and drive to a drive-in, load 4 of them in the trunk, so you didn't have to pay
I think North Carolina still has them, don't they? I think it has 1 or 2 drive-ins there. Yeah, there's a couple here. They still, I'd never been to one. I'd like to go.
There's one down by you, actually.
I know there's one that's close. Maybe our Jenny will know, so I'll probably ask her. ABC's gone. I used to run an ABC cinema many, so it has gone. Yeah, because Blackpool had when me and Si were kids, it had the ABC and it had the Odeon. It had both of them. Do you know the Odeon is now Funny Girls, which is a big nightclub, and I don't know what the ABC is. Maybe it's a nightclub itself.
That's funny. The one near me, got to say, the ABC was knocked down, and that's been built, and they got a lot of shopping mall in there now. It's obviously not on a scale of anything what you'd have in the States, obviously, but the shopping mall in the town centre is that's they knocked the cinema down. It's all been built in like a shopping mall years ago. But then the one in Norwich was an ABC cinema. I went to that one a few times. That weren't a bad cinema, but then they gutted that and turned it into a nightclub, a multi-level nightclub for a little while. But then because that was such a big building, they could never fill it all the time, so never getting enough to run it. You know what I mean? So I think now they're converting it into flats.
I remember the organ guy as well at the start in Blackpool. The organ guy would come out and play the organ first.
Yeah, I remember that in Blackpool.
Even now our site still sends me clips of people playing a really old cheesy organ, like. It still sends me to this day. If a cinema was doing the Lord of the Rings trilogy, I might need a couple of intermissions. Yeah, 1 or 2. The closing of in Birmingham was a sad, great day. Jedis, Ghostbusters, Aliens, all in one day. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Aliens at the cinema was awesome.
Oh, and Sleeping Bag. A lot of epic films in the Odeons in Brummie. Yeah, I bet there is. Do you know what Brummie is? GFORCE.
Oh, I've heard it. I don't know what it is.
Brummie means Birmingham because they're all Brummies who were from there. Yeah.
Gotcha.
It looks like we're translating for GFORCE. I haven't kept Brummies and GFORCE. Is like,
speak freaking English in.
We got to remember, G. There is a multiple choice question there at the end of this, so you got to remember them, all right?
Yeah. Well, there's a quiz at the end. What does having a kip mean? All right. Last time I went to the cinema, an old woman would pop up playing her organ during it. Yeah, that's what I mean.
That's not a euphemism, Kieran. I hope.
Depends what cinema it was. I'm thinking of having to go to pee. Have you seen the size of the sodas in the cinema? Larger than the average? Yeah. Looking forward to see one battle after another. Oh, that looks good. That's the Leonardo DiCaprio one, isn't it? Is that one?
That's
that one.
I think so. Yeah, that one looks good.
Yeah, I hate that. Well, Sanford GFORCE, there's a town just next to me. They have an old 90s one that it's like late 80s, and the deco hasn't changed. It's sticky, it's knackered. Yeah. I love it, but Gen 8's going to it. But I don't like that. I don't like all the posh seats. In
answer to Dez's comment there, depends. If you're going to watch a good film, yes. If you're taking, you might want to pick a bad film just in case who you're taking. See what I'm saying?
There used to be an old ABC right at the corner of Upton Park by West Ham's old ground. So one showed Unimaginable Horror, the other one was the ABC. Matt Galetti says the UK and the US are separated by 3,000 miles of ocean and language. Yeah, that's how they speak in England. They are. Yeah. So your collections, your top 5. How easy was it to come up with this?
Difficult as hell.
Was it?
I just did it this morning because I couldn't figure out what to do.
Right. So how did you? All right. Well, let me start by asking. I ask this to everybody every week. So how did you come to it then? Was it expense? Was it gifts? Was it sentimentality? How did it come across?
I'd say, expense doesn't really interest me how much things cost. I mean, I've always been that way. If someone's buying me something for 100, and then someone else got me something for 20, that's just as important to me as what anything else is. I don't care about the
amount of thought in, right?
Yeah, I'm not worried about monetary value, but to me, it's just obviously something that sticks out to me, where it links to something, or that links to a time, or whatever, that sort of thing to me, where it sort of sticks in.
So yours
Well,
is stemmed on more or less memories than your top five.
memories, sort of like sentiment, yeah, that sort of thing.
Awesome, TJC. What about you?
So I just recently got back into collection. I don't know.
Yeah, it looks like up by your wall.
This is like 4 years.
That's
now.
room one. That's room one.
That's what I mean.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm saying. Like, this is all modern for the most part. So I don't have the necessarily nostalgic connection to all of this. It's all just IPs that I love and card backs and stuff like that, plastic. So it was hard for me to link anything to a core memory or anything like that. So I went by my top 5 obsessions. So
nice. I didn't know that everyone's
obsessed
done
by
that yet.
my collection. That's how I did it.
GFORCE, tell you what, you brilliant GFORCE. I never worked out my top 5, but I know for certain it would change on my birthday in November. But that's the thing. I think next season when I do top 5, I'm going to do another top 5. I'm going to call it, and everyone who's been on wants to come on again. And I'm going to make a note of everything that they showed as the top 5 in the first ones, and let's see if it's different or not. So you got a point there.
So if you want me to come back, Shabby, can you buy me 5 things?
I'll buy you the honourable mention. Connor Fuller says, I'm GFORCE's number 1, but he doesn't say number 1 what. But
antagonist.
Yeah, you are only 2 weeks. I'm already agonising over my choices. I think it's because right. It's hard this because sometimes I've gone through the things, lads, of appreciating your stuff, right? Because I had this thing. I think I put up on the ZSR one week where you buy so much stuff, especially us modern collectors, and you get it. Oh yeah, boom, and then you're on to the next thing straight away. And it's like straight away, so you don't really sit back and appreciate. Is that why it's hard to do a top 5 through modern stuff? Is because of how much of it we buy?
I think so. I think that is part of it because you didn't play with it. You don't have the stories that went along with it. Yeah, you went on a toy hunt and you grabbed 6 things that day, and none of them really mean jack to you.
Again, I think with the modern stuff, if you get anything modern, to me, again, that's got to be that sentiment linked to it. So the reason I've got it might be because whatever it is linked to something that I had as a kid. Right. Maybe I couldn't have it as a kid. Maybe that they didn't do it, or for whatever reason. But obviously, I knew the character, or I knew whatever it was, and that just to me,
it's hard though, isn't it? Because I'll give you an example. I went out this weekend. And I've really wanted a blade thing. I've been getting into the vintage masters, and I've got about 2/3 of them now. I'm doing really well in it. But I saw one at Joe Fest, and Rob was saying, "Well, Shabby, look at the paint on it. There's a sword missing." Oh, all right, fair enough. And then, anyway, I went out the weekend just gone, and I found it complete, and it's the paint's on it. It's in great condition, and I got a great price for it. And I was like jumping up and down. I was so excited. I was saying, Jen thought I was a weirdo, because I'm like, "Oh man,
she always has."
I can see your face right now.
Yeah, and I'm like, "Oh, look, Jenny, look at it." But the thing is, I wanted it so long and so much. And then I thought to myself, when we were setting up top 5 for this week, would that be my top 5 though, or is it just something I've
really wanted to have? Right.
So did you do that with your top 5s? Where you got someone thought, well, I've always wanted that, but it's not really a top 5. It's weird, isn't it? How a top 5 comes along. Yeah. Let's have a look. Kieran, number 2. Number 2 is Martin. I never said that, Martin. Everyone's saying hello to Martin. Everyone's saying hello to Si. Folks, nobody puts a thumbs up in the chat, or Terry will pull over and stop.
Okay, Connor, I have to ask, Connor, how long have you saved up that joke? You've been thinking about that all week, haven't you?
Oh, brilliant. It's funny, though. Greetings. Hello, Scuba Pete. Hello, Scoobs is here.
Good to see you.
Did you watch his latest video on Chasing 80s where him and Ron went out? That was brilliant. Some great stuff. So good old Scoob is here. Right, well, we've gone through the stuff. Anything else you want to talk about before we get into your honorable mentions? Anything you want to bring up?
No,
on the horizon.
Right, well, there you go then. Here is good old GFORCE's and TJC's honorable mention. So, Terry, what's your honorable mention, buddy?
Right, now, this isn't because of who did it, but this is an honorable mention to me because this just came from a chat we were having in the Instagram. and so I just said, putting up ideas. I want to just draw something a bit different.
Yeah.
Ideas, anything stand out that's got to be made a good picture. And obviously, I think he gave away the full size thing out on one of your streams. But when we met up at the NEC in April, he done a little gift bag for everyone. So I did. And because I picked this idea, what he liked the idea of, and he did it.
Yeah.
He did a little print for me, and that was this, the Shockwave.
The Shockwave, yeah.
Very cool.
That was obviously one of my favourite comic covers from the
That's
UK.
right. He gave away the original. Someone got the original.
He gave away the original, but he done a small print of it for me, and like I say, put it in the pack for me, which that'll be framed and that'll be put up. Whether I'll probably end up in Jason's bedroom, to be fair.
That's awesome.
I'll have that, so but that's that's just an awesome drawing that he's done there. But just the fact that he remembered that and put it in there and put it in for me, that's a bit of an honourable mention for me. So
that's one of the things I've got to give our side credit for, man. Is that he shares his work with us all. He's do it for me. You'll turn around and say, Shabby, do you want to? I mean, we're doing one at the moment, the Catwoman. That if you go on the last top 5 or you comment on the last
the Catwoman,
you come in that Catwoman. But what he did was, excuse me, hiccups. What he did was he turned around and gave away 10 prints. He's giving away 10 of them. So 10 people. He's lovely like that. And it always makes me proud as well. You know, when you watch people's videos and people on streams and there's always a piece of size artwork in the what is it? So yeah. Oh, that was nice.
Helps to draw one of his own.
Palps is good as well, isn't he? Palps is a really
good ones as well, yeah.
That's an awesome honourable mention, buddy. Right, GFORCE, what's your honourable mention, my friend?
So this thing, I saw it on one of the live streams and I just had to have it. So I don't know anyone else in our group that has it, but tell me if you might know what this is.
Whoa, I'm going to leave me even bigger for that. What is that? No, I've never seen that.
That's his whole group, is it?
Avengers, Children of Thanos 5.
Children of Thanos, yeah.
Is it Marvel Legends as well?
Marvel Legends, yep.
Wow, that's awesome. I'm going to ask how much that.
It's pretty big.
And what year was that, GFORCE?
Oh, probably 1920, something like that. I ain't got my magnifiers on, so I can't read that date.
That is absolutely brilliant, man. So I liked Marvel back then, the Endgame and Infinity War and all that sort of stuff. So obviously, I mean, we've seen your collection of your Marvels and so forth. But where did you find that? Was that an exclusive or what was it?
Yeah, that was a pre-order. I think I got it from Amazon or Hasbro Pulse, one of the two.
I was waiting for someone to say it.
What?
Look, Palp's comment.
I'll get there, yeah. Gilson says, picked up a Return of the Jedi red lunchbox as a kid in the 80s, the one with the R2-D2 wiki. Yeah, I've just found that Labyrinth one. Lunchbox. I've never bought a tin lunchbox ever, and I found one. So let's have a look. Is GFORCE's YouTube channel giveaway prizes honorable mention? Jonathan, well in there, brilliant. I know, so I was thinking of selling them for around £7.50.
Yep.
Brilliant. Connor says right there, make sure you drop the comment Catwoman in this chat to be in with a chance to win a side print. Brilliant. Thank you, pal. Here we go. Nice set that GFORCE never seen it. Yeah, nice set, GFORCE. I've never seen that in person.
Thank you.
Is it a retail one, GFORCE? You just you could
it was a pre-order. I don't think you could get it at retail anywhere unless you were going to a comic store or something like that.
Right.
They had bought it, but like I say, I don't see many of them.
Ricardo says the Children of Thanos is a really cool set. It was a Walmart exclusive, I believe.
Walmart. Okay.
Wow. Okay. Right. Cheers, Q, for that. Yeah, never knew. Here we go. That set is worth around $340 now, GFORCE.
That must be a nightmare when you have all these exclusives, though, like Walmart exclusive and all that. You know, to have to.
Oh, listen, me, Scotty Boy, GFORCE, we can't. The thing about it is, it's like you'll watch the Star Wars Black Series. I'm a big Black Series fan. You'll watch the panel, right? And it'll show 5 figures. And this one's going to Walgreens. This one's going to Walmart. This one's going to Target. This one's a Hasbro Pulse. You just
this
like,
one's Amazon. This
and on it, and how many times have you actually seen a Walmart exclusive in Walmart GeForce?
right, never.
Name me one. None. We never see him.
Still don't have a dual Zen Vader. What the hell?
That was.
Well, don't stir Sai up. No, come on.
That was crazy. Figure like that, you'd think you'd be overawed by him, wouldn't you? Palp says that is a stunning set, and Jonathan loves you. I love you, GeForce. Here we go. Mudon says I have
funny bastard.
I have to wait till November, but my sister got me a Kenner Battle Damage X-Wing and an X-Wing Luke. So that's the vehicle I've wanted since 1981 and a replacement for my first ever Star Wars vehicle. There's nothing like that, is there? That's brilliant. What a great story. That is brilliant. But it is for my half century. I know that feeling. Mine's next month too. I know that feeling. Yeah. Ian, very nice. Very nice. That's awesome, man. So yeah, I like your picture. Size picture is really, really cool. And that Marvel thing, I've never seen it. Never. Did you ever do a video on it?
I believe in the beginning.
You did. By the way, everyone who doesn't know, I was watching this for the first time. TJC's Toy Loving Memories and GForce's GeForce Racing 20. The links to their YouTube channels are in the description, so they're right there. So if you ever want to sub to them, you're more than welcome. Jules M. Vader, once again.
Videos, go watch mine.
Sorry, yeah.
Once again, I'm sorry.
Dave's the only one who's got it, isn't he?
It's weird. Even at Joel Fest, like I said, there's a vendor there that sells nothing but Black Series, hundreds of them. Not one Jules.
You saw that link I put in the chat that time where how much it was, because they must have been really short supply because they'd just gone through the roof.
But I don't understand it though. I don't. You'd think that figure would be like the Endor Layer or the Lando Calrissian. You know, they're still in Walmarts now.
And if they have the mold and they complain about not using their molds to their full potential, why aren't they pumping these things out?
I don't get it, mate. Who dares wins, DTM? Who dares wins? Yeah, DTM flew straight in there. IB3D is doing a 3D printed X-Wing ladder. Someone just put that up. I'm sure they did. Someone put that up in our group, all these X-Wing ladders. They look super cool. Who asked for one as well? Somebody, I think it was Connor. Connor wanted one. They looked really nice. That sit on the side of an X-Wing. Really cool.
Nice.
Our Funny Sunday Gaming Streams is right there. Toy Memories. Brilliant.
Yeah, that's definitely
cheers,
funny.
Connor. Thanks for doing that. Right, so we've seen the honourable mentions. Kind of like it. Good start, boys. Good start. Is your number 5. GeForce, I've got you, big buddy. So what's your number 5?
I'm going to take you traveling.
Okay.
We have to go to where the stuff is. Some of it's
to go to collection number 4.
Why are you doing that as well? GeForce Shopping Hunts, the YouTube channel from. Thank you, Connor, for doing that's really nice of you, man. He's right there. So if you ever want to sub to GeForce, there it is. Cheers, Connor. He's gone. He's just disconnected his whole thing. Absolutely brilliant.
He's lost his Wi-Fi.
He's just disconnected it. Travels and more with GeForce. Travels and God with GeForce more like. Absolutely brilliant. Would it be Shabby's, would it? Would it be Shabby? But GeForce, I bet he's still talking. Anyway, this is he'll be back in a minute. He'll be back in a sec. That's brilliant.
GeForce has entered the next dimension. Yeah, he probably has.
Brilliant. Did I hear it flush before we lost GeForce? Absolutely brilliant. GeForce, where are you? I made him disappear.
Shazam.
Oh, brilliant. Well, while GeForce is gone then, we might as well look at your top 5. Your number 5, please, Terry.
My number 5 is, as I said, I've got I've still got them all now, but I've got every issue that they did for the Marvel UK run of Transformers.
Well, the comic?
The comic, yeah.
Wow, every one of them?
Every single one they ever did, yeah. So I got them right from when they started, and then about 84, right through. I think they started monthly, or no, fortnightly possibly, and then they changed various times over the years. But I got every single issue, and one of these storylines that they had, to keep it simple so you'd understand, the storyline is pretty much, you'd say, a Transformers version of Walking Dead.
Right.
Because that was a combination of that, and obviously also the original storyline of what Megatron wanted to do with Cybertron.
Yeah.
that combined all this into one story, and there's a bit of a Walking Dead type situation as well. And the characters, they never released them, but then they did a pre-order for them, and I was surprised that they were doing them, to be fair, because that's just out of nowhere. So my number 5 is, they've done the box to look like one of the issues of the comic. So there's the box.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really cool.
So that's the box. And then there's your 2 characters. And that's out of the comic, sort of this comic strip sort of thing, what you got there. So
40th anniversary at the bottom. Yeah, that's really nice.
So what you got, obviously, because I'm an opener, I don't keep them in the box.
Right.
So this is the protagonist of obviously the storyline. Flame, his name is. Right, so he turns obviously into a tank, and he obviously starts all this off. So that's the protagonist, but they've never done the figure who's quite a prominent figure in the comics. He was like leader of resistance on Cybertron, and they did him because obviously he was one of the main sort of like ones in the story, and they did the Autobot resistance leader.
That's awesome.
And yeah, so
these are straight from the comics then.
Straight from the comic. They never did any of these figures before, and say this is the Autobot resistance leader on Cybertron from the comics. He was quite early on. He was sort of featured. They never did a toy of him though, so obviously they've done that as a double pack. So you got both of them in the box, and then that was just what it was. So obviously that's my number 5.
Brilliant, man. Let me ask you a question. Were the comics, the US and English comics different? Were because when you said the Transformers UK ones?
Yeah, well, when they first started, the UK comics were reprints of the American comics, but I mean the sizing is slightly different. I think there's different size UK compared to the American size pages. I think.
Right.
I'm not sure. Someone who's more into the comics would probably be able to, tell you that. But the reprints of the initial stories, and when they first started, they used to have a backup story, which was another Marvel character. They might have like Iron Man. They might have like someone like that in the other back of the comics, to fill the comic out. But then as the UK one sort of went on,
yeah,
you've got people like Simon Furman came in, and then they started doing their own UK only stories. So you'd have reprints of the American runs sort of thing to a point, and then you'd have another Transformer story done by Simon Furman, and then he'd be filling them in, doing stories in between when there weren't an American one to pull from. So I think the American initial run weren't as long as the UK one was.
Wow. So it's basically like the Joes and Action Force ones. They were completely different stories as well.
Was featured quite prominently, and
yeah,
I think one of the early issues of the Transformers comic, which was a reprint of the American one at that point, because it was still fairly early on, actually featured Spider-Man in it.
No way, did he?
Yeah, so Spider-Man was in the storyline with it, so obviously that was all intermingled. But Action Force did feature in storylines at times as well. They crossed them over.
No way. Brilliant, man. Absolutely brilliant. So I did make him disappear. Look, TJC. Shazam. Yeah. Oh, Shazam. GFORCE just fell on his ass. Well, yeah, that's true. Hey, Dario, good old bikers here. Let's have a look who else is here. They are so cool to me. Yeah, they're awesome. And where did you get them from then? You just an exclusive?
That was a pre-order. That was, I think they were on Pulse, and that was a pre-order only. So I don't think they actually went on retail. They may do now. I mean, someone might tell me you'd be able to get them on Entertainment Earth possibly, or something like that. But as far as I'm aware, I think you had to pre-order them. So I pre-ordered them because I saw what they were, and obviously because I liked that story so much in that run of issues, I thought I just got to have it.
Would you say that was your number one then? Transformers for you? That's the thing. You
Transformers is the only. I mean, I like the other toy lines, but the ones I actually mainly collected was just Transformers for me. That was everything for. As a kid, was my main thing. Was that my brother used to have Action Force, so occasionally I used to use them together, and then sort of with the Transformers. But yeah, it was just Transformers for me. I love the Transformers.
Ian says Transformers comic used to cost 25p.
Yeah, it was.
I know, brilliant, isn't it? Nice Terry, another set I've never seen. And Tess says, "Is G4 still talking to himself?" He says, "No, welcome back, G4," says Kieran. Somehow G4's returned. Somehow G4's returned. He's back in the room. What did you do? Did you just lose
I tried to switch the camera to the front facing, and it said, "You have to log in to do this," and it booted me.
Brilliant.
So then I gotta find the friggin' password. You know, I can't remember any of those damn things.
Do you not write it down? I go mental when my missus don't do that. She don't write any passwords down. I'm like, I always keep the same password here on everything. But for some reason,
write all of them down, but
yeah, I do,
they're all in one spot.
GFORCE, what's your number 5, buddy?
Number 5 is the stuff that I make is the number 5 obsession. So things such as my warning diorama.
Now, so talk us through that. What's actually custom made then? What actually isn't?
So the instruments and the orange amplifier are the things that are not custom made. Everything else is. So I customized the figures from Marvel Legends figures. I built the black amplifier. I built the set. I picked out the tile. I made the rugs.
That is so cool.
And how long did that all take you?
I don't keep track of all the hours, but like I'd work on it for a couple hours at a time, you know, and then probably over 2, 3, 4 weeks it would be done. But so cool. Yeah, just all the little diorama type stuff that I make. So got weapons crates, and this thing is going, that's my work in progress. It's going to be a little Star Wars light up thingamabobber. So it has everyone's like enjoying light that shines up through it.
Everyone's enjoying them. Everyone said they look amazing. They're cool. Cool figures. TJC says Palps. Those amps are rad, says Randy. Yeah, where'd you get the amps from? They're pretty cool to get them.
The instruments come from Etsy. The amp came from Etsy, and then that one, the bass amp, I just made it out of wood and material and styrene.
Absolutely brilliant. GTM wants to know, is that Helen on guitar? Is that Helen on guitar?
That's Danny, but I do have Helen. We'll see her a little bit later.
We do have Helen in there. Brilliant.
This is the Fortnite boat I painted.
I still didn't open mine, GFORCE. You know, mine's still in the box underneath there.
Is it really?
Yeah, I still never opened it. Because they were selling those Fortnite boxes, TJC, over here in Ollie's for about $14. That was it.
Yeah.
And everyone was buying them and doing them up, and GFORCE did his up right there. But I bought it.
Well, I say my boy loves the game, but I don't think he'd really want the toys because he's not like what we were when we were kids. He wouldn't probably play with them. That'd probably stack on the shelf and say, "Oh yeah, it's Fortnite," or like that, this, that, and the other. That'd be like there sort of thing. But
so yeah, that one I just did a little Dark Trooper recharging station with some LEDs.
That's really cool. Really cool.
A Mando speeder I made from junk, and a tiny Jesus mech I made from junk.
Wow. GFORCE, that's a smoker. Top job with them, says Arcade. Now we're talking, says Martin. Yep.
Fortnite glider for a Cobra classified claw. But yeah, so things I made. Those are the number 5 obsession.
Kieran wants to know, do you advocate teabagging, GFORCE? He's asking for stew.
Asking for stew? I don't like the act of teabagging myself. I prefer a black
cloth. You say that, G.
Pod Racy Pop says, cool warning diorama. Got me listening to the band. There you go.
Awesome.
GFORCE has got Helen. I thought I hadn't seen her in a while, says
I nabbed her.
Pod Racy Pop says, Tiny Jesus mech. Yes. Have you ever done it, TJC? Have you ever made diorama?
Not nothing to like that. I mean, when I was a kid, you used to make things out of cardboard boxes because, like I say, you know yourself, when your parents used to go grocery shopping, they used to come back with carrier bags, did they? There'd be all them empty boxes at the end of the sort of like checkouts, and they'd be getting the boxes, putting all the shopping in boxes and coming in with the cardboard boxes, didn't they?
Yeah.
So then I used to, as a kid, you'd be like, they'd come back, they'd empty, put all the shopping away, and you'd be like, can I have that? And then you'd make it into like a base, or you'd do something like that. For your toys, you'd do all sorts with it.
This is what I mean. It's you look at Oppin, you look at Arkeith, and you look at GFORCE, and you know a few of the other, and you just think, how the France have they done that? How I haven't got it. It's weird because I'm in the furniture business. So, you know, I put stuff together in pop culture and all that. So it's not as if I haven't got the imagination for it. So when it comes to art or whatever, and making stuff or painting, I'm that's my.
You got to think,
job.
Shabby. What you do when you look at that furniture you've done and you've like made it bespoke, so to speak.
Yeah,
that is effectively the same as what G has done. G's done that.
Yeah,
he's done that different. But yours is what you've done on that bit of furniture because you've done it and made it one off, and that is what is it is. You know, for
I just think everybody can take a dilapidated $20 jewelry box that's broken and fix it and then paint it. And you know what I mean? There's a lot of skill to what you do. And I think you discredit that.
But I think what it is with you lot, which is when you explain it, you go, oh yeah, I made this out of a pen, and I made this out of a bottle top, and I made this out of bubble gum. And you're like, what? How? That's what I mean.
So Shabby, did you never watch Blue Peter? Come on.
Yeah, I think we all tried to make that Tracy Island, didn't we, TJ?
So Tracy Island, yeah, or the Apollo 5 out of a fairy liquid bottle. I'm
just all for people like yourselves that can take like everyday objects, like a bottle or something, and turn it into what you turn it into. I think it's brilliant.
I'll tell you one thing. When I took Jace to a local Comic Con, and they had a guy there, and I didn't think my boy would be into it. I just thought, you know, I'll ask. And I've never come across it before. I didn't know you might have done over there for like various Comic Cons. But this guy, he was doing this little class around this set of tables, and he just turned and said, "Yeah, that doesn't cost you anything. You just come there, join in, see what you want to do." And that was actually map designing.
Wow!
Right? And you're thinking, well, why do I want to draw a map? You know, I don't want to. But they said, no, that's like for your own sort of like you're doing your own sort of like map for like a game or anything like that. Where you want to do. He said, just your own sort of thing. And my boy sat there and he was drawing all sorts of things for different places and things. He was just there for ages. And I just did that with him. And then that was just something that I'd never thought of before, but that was just getting him to do that. And he was using his little imagination. He was thinking, I want a whatever over here, and this would be like his house, or this would be it. And he was just drawing his little map. Yeah. He drew an outline, and that was just brilliant. That was just got him. I just thought, never thought of it before.
No, well, it's like Delvian, the way Delvian's got all this stuff in his shells, and he does the dioramas in the shells. And you're like, it's weird, isn't it? Because you just say to yourself, oh, I mean, look how many shells I've got. I have made platforms. GFORCE showed me how to make them platforms, and a diorama. I mean, I put decoupaged on them, and I did old vintage. So where my He-Man sits right there, they're all on platforms that I've made through vintage comics and so forth. So I have done that. But the things like this, like I don't think I could ever make a band or what Delvian does or what Oppie does or Keith. It's like, wow, man, I find it really, really cool. I think
the part about it. I think the hardest part about it is putting paint to the toy. Once you alter that toy, that for me is a trigger. I'm like, but when I get them at Ollie's for $5, I can say,
you do that, yeah.
No, what Dario's put there, that is what I used to do all the time with cardboard boxes. You'd be cutting slots out of them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we did stuff like that as kids.
Yeah.
You know, duvets and cardboard, but I never actually did them up. Do you know what I mean? It was just like the cardboard.
Oh, I used to do all sorts of get the old glue out, and you'd be cutting bits, making bits, and putting them on there and making that sort of thing. You do it. I mean, in your imagination, that looked like it was, but someone else come in and say, "What the hell is that?" But you know.
Look at all this mess. My daughter does though. My Lucy, she makes her own puppets, her own helmets and puppets out of car, and she's a genius at it. And absolutely, I mean, honestly, one night I might just show some of Lucy's. She makes these arm puppets and helmets that move and all that sort of thing. She's really good. And what she'll do is she'll go into Walmart, and especially now, GFORCE, she'll find those Halloween masks for like $11 to $15, and she'll bring it home and she'll go over it. And I think, wow, you know, so I'm surrounded, like I've said it 1,000 times, surrounded by creative people. Hey, Mr. B, good old Mr. B's here. Nice to see you, pal. Yeah, we're up to 40 people, so thank you all so much. This is awesome. It's two things. Firstly, having the idea, then actually making it happen. There's another point too. And I don't know. It's like finding all this. How do you do it then, GFORCE? Do you make right? So do you get a piece of paper and you write down everything first, or do you look around your house and think, "Oh, that would work"? How does your inspiration come?
Usually, let me think here. Usually, there's a need for it.
Yeah.
Like if I want to do a picture, like the Jabba's palace door or whatever that I did. That one, I was like, well, I want something in Tatooine to start taking pictures, like of my figures and things like that. So that's how like that one started. But the Warning, I just knew I wanted the band, and I had seen the instruments on Etsy. So I was like, well, there's the hard part out of my way. It just cost me the price of the instruments, you know? And then I was like, okay, now I go to Ollie's and Ross and hunt for any figure that has the attributes that I needed, the blonde hair, whatever it was, you know?
Yeah. And you find it, you do it that way. Brilliant. Here we go.
Get a bug up your ass and go.
Hey, GFORCE, I had the same reaction sticking an afro on Jar Jar Binks. There you go. Good old pals right there. Let's face it, Shabby can't even transform. I thought TJC would have come out with that.
Well,
can't even transform. So making his own.
Rub it in your face, mate. Yeah.
Muzz has sent me one. Good old Darth Muzz has sent me one years ago, and I still got it. A Black Series Tatooine thing to put your land speeder on, and it's superb. I love it. Absolutely brilliant.
To be fair to you, though, Shab, a lot of these new ones now, they're not like the G1. G1s were simple, fairly easy to transform, really. The new ones now are so intricate and so many bits you got to fold in this and take this out and fold it.
The best part of that was Artez at ZSR, right? He's given me shit about transforming Transformers for years until he got a new one himself. And then he was like, oh no, you know, he didn't know what to do. Keith Knight says, I write nothing down. If I get an idea in my head and go off, I go. I hate my brain. It's that to me is wow. I don't know.
That's part of it too, Keith. Yeah.
That is brilliant. Right. Awesome top fives. Let's get to number 4. Number 4, GFORCE, you're right there. What's your number 4, buddy?
We're going number 4. All right, let's travel again.
Have we got to wait this time, G?
You might. Depends on how StreamYard wants to be.
There you go. StreamYard, there he is.
Okay, so the number 3 are we on, you said?
Number 4.
4. Modern. So everything modern, they're all my IPs that I've loved since I was a kid. You got your Marvel, you got your DC, your G.I. Joe, Star Wars. I mean, it's just everywhere in here. You got Lego, 3 3/4 inch, 6 inch. Now they're doing blockies, stuff like that. But you're getting IPs that I don't think we really had that much of back in the 90s, 80s, if you will, like these Bruce Lee and John Wick and the Crows and stuff like that. I mean, forget Pops. They had everything and anything.
Yeah.
Hot Wheels. You can just about get every IP you want. You know what I mean? So like modern for me has been really fun in that regard. So that's why it is my number 4 obsession.
And you've got the 2 versions there. You've got them opened and you've got them boxed.
Yes.
So yours is the same as mine, basically. Where I open some of them, I keep some of them boxed and so forth. If you had to get rid of all those 6 inch but keep one line, which one would you keep?
Oh, geez. Probably Joe's. I take it back.
The Street. Yeah.
Oh, they are cool, though, aren't they?
They are. I agree, Terry. Yeah.
Yeah. So all my modern jazz.
What is it about modern that keeps you buying it, GFORCE?
The colors, the card backs, all the reasons we buy them in the first place, right?
Yeah.
But like Terry touched on earlier, it's been harder and harder to find stuff, and you know, dealing with that. What store is it at? Do I have to go to Fan Channel? I got 12 pre-orders coming. I just got dinged for a HasLab. You know, all that type of stuff makes.
Did you buy the HasLab lot, GFORCE? You didn't get that one, no.
No.
But the
I'm
canteen.
done with HasLab. They burned me on that Ghost. They can have that fucking thing back.
He's done.
I'm
dead. That thing burns me every time I look at it.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. But it's funny that yeah. I was going to read this.
Yeah, we got that. Yeah.
His GFORCE's number 4 is entire collection. That's cheating. He's disqualified. He's disqualified.
Smart.
But it's like the G.I. Joe retro carded ones. It was an experience. I mean, I said it at the Classified, but the Classified was just coming away from me because I'm like, I haven't a clue who I'm buying here. I'm buying these figures because they do look cool and all that, but I haven't. So I went to the actual retro card backs on them, and I think I'm missing about 2 so far, or up to him. And I enjoyed that because that's my experience of getting modern, but something I've never had when I was a kid. You know what I mean? And doing it that way. The Masters of the Universe, the nicest thing, what the modern for that did was it spurred me on to get all the vintage, which I've been getting hold of as well. So does that do it for you as well, TJC and GFORCE, where you'll buy something now and you like modern, and you'll go, you know what? I think I will look for the old. It's like the retro Ghostbusters. I started to get them, and that immediately made me buy the vintage Ghostbusters. And I've been buying all the villain, and they're not mega cheap, but like $35, $25, $40 depending on condition. Can't go wrong, really.
Well,
but it's because of modern that made me buy this vintage stuff.
I think as we go through, you'll see through my top 5 that there is a lot of that in there as well. So, you know,
I think that I don't know, just the damn card backs. It's so pretty.
So it has got a version of nostalgia then too, yeah. But
yeah, and I can't go back and get the first 96, the Kenner vintage, for a price that I bought this whole room for.
Well, you can, but you must have to move in with me or scuba.
Right,
You know what I
right.
like you'd have to move into Shabby gazebo.
Affordability wise, that's not going to happen. So the closest I could come was getting them on card as new figures.
Yeah.
So when I found that they actually even were doing that, I don't think it was 2010 at the earliest when
well, you just saw Scuba's video and he saw that switchblade, complete switchblade, nothing broken, nothing, and it was cheaper than the new one. And I knew this was going to happen because I've been saying it, you know, on a few streams. Like the problem with this is the fact that you've made modern so expensive now that we are going. It's like, I'll give you an example. The He-Man I'm buying, apart from 1 or 2 of them, which is normal, you're going to get a couple in a line that's going to be more expensive, but they're roughly costing me the same price as a G.I. Joe or a Black Series or something. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, that's why I've never classed myself as a vintage or modern, simply because there's not much difference anymore.
I always thought of myself as a hybrid just because I knew vintage was where my heart belonged.
Manga Vandanga says he buys modern vintage because vintage is a load of old tat. I'll get my coat. See ya. Connor says, wow, an honest review of a Ghost right there. Best HasLab review ever. Oh, cheers, Kieran. Thanks for that. Right. So we've seen GFORCE's number 4. What's your number 4, TJC?
Right. Well, it's one of my favourite characters, as he probably was most kids. And when, obviously, that'd be fairly obvious who it is, but when the movie came out, a lot of people got upset because he was the favourite character, and everyone sort of was gutted. And obviously, Hasbro had to do a recoil and change him, and you know. So I had, when they did the release of this, I had to do it. You probably got this one, Chabs, as well, but I had to get this.
No, I've got this the War of Cybertron, and I thought it was the same, but you said it isn't. This is different to that one.
It's only slightly different. I think the mold is very similar, if not.
Oh, right, okay.
But it's probably just how they've coloured it, because this is obviously based on the movie cartoon, isn't it? So they've done it more to like the cartoon. So obviously I got this when they released this. I thought I got the G1 Optimus, what I played with, and I got the attachment to. But I thought this is really such a good version, and obviously that scene there when obviously he takes all them the Decepticons out to get to Megatron and for the big battle and everything in the film. The movie was, even now you could watch it now, it's just a cracking movie, and for what it is. I mean, at the time, all the kids were gutted and that thing, but
it was weird. Do you not remember that experience? It was like, what? Because I remember being in the cinema seeing that, and I was like,
but one thing they've done, which was from one episode of the cartoon, and they did feature it in the comic as well as a flashback, I think, if I remember right. But they always feature Optimus Prime with the Energio axe.
Yeah.
With the axe add-on, which is that was only in that one episode when he had a fight with Megatron on the dam. At the top of the dam, and Megatron had the ball and chain, and he had the axe.
So cool, man! So cool.
But, I love that. That's a brilliant figure. That's a brilliant figure.
It is.
Not to say the. I mean, that is, you can see by the color in those Shabbies. Obviously, that's more like the cartoon.
Yeah, this is what I want to look at. Yeah, because they've made the legs. Is it white? The legs, or like a light grey, which is how it should be.
They're like sort of silvery, but they're not like chrome like obviously the original ones were. But they're cool. A bit silvery. But that's a brilliant figure. And like I say, all this bit on the back is how they've done the modern figures to make them so it all folds out and then covers everything up to make it look like the truck. Yeah. Whereas originally that was just his arms. If you remember his arms on the G1, they got the cutout because that's where the wheel goes.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
So obviously, whereas this, they've done it so it just hides everything. Like the wheels are hidden in his legs and stuff. You unfold all that, and the legs spin out to get the wheels out. Cool. Yeah. But that's all that extra thing that adds all to this. But yeah, it's a brilliant figure. I mean, I love the figure, but I thought I had to have it.
That's another thing. I buy the 86 line. I love him. Loved the 86 line.
I'd like to get all of them because they are really cool, but it's just obviously expense for me. So I just pick and choose.
Well, the one I can't find is Ironhide. I can't find it. And I saw Ratchet, but the Ironhide, that's as rare as hen's teeth. I couldn't find that anywhere. But
so that's an awesome figure.
Yeah.
In the Studio Series one?
86 Studio Series. Yeah. Absolutely brilliant.
Ironhide by me.
The red one, I never got there. I never found it, but I'll find it because I do like buying them. The only time I'll ever buy modern Transformers that are different to that is if they're on sale, or I just saw that they're doing those new retro car backs and they went down to 15, so I bought one of them because of the price. But the 86 is what I definitely.
I mean, also what they did with the Prime 86 movie one. I mean, I don't know why they did it, but they've done the diorama that goes with it.
Yeah, they do him all the 86. Cool. Yeah, they do him with all of them. Mm-hmm.
So they've done that, obviously. So I thought that was, it's quite cool. It's obviously Autobot City, that scene, you can put it in there. But yeah, I mean, that was, for what it was, I thought, I've got to have that as Optimus.
No, that's a brilliant top four. Yeah, I'm a big fan. And then, but again, it goes back to the previous conversation we were just having. By buying them, I was buying all the vintage minibots, and every time I went out, I found a vintage. And my minibot collection is really cool now. But I'm all for those 86. They are, and that isn't. You've got a couple of them, didn't you, G? You bought a couple of them, the 86 ones.
I give them to you.
Oh, did you?
The ones I find, I give them to you.
All right. I've always been a modern collector, says Howard Des, but I'm really enjoying picking up vintage stuff now. Yeah, things I never had. I like it, to be honest. I do like picking up the vintage, but I'm not really an eBayer when it comes to it. I like finding them in the wild, at an old market or a toy fair or a flea market or whatever, and you see something there. I love doing it that way.
I bought the Reds because I didn't have to transform them.
Yeah. Oh, they were too late for me. Because when they first came out, we didn't see them for ages. Walmart never had them, so the novelty wore off for me. But yeah,
in answer to Martin's comment there is a story with the Soundwave G1 where that's in the loft because obviously it's with all my original G1 stuff. But Soundwave the original figure does mean a lot to me because I had to have an operation on my knees when I was about 8, sort of thing. I had to have about 3 operations on my knees when I was about 8 and 9. And when I was in hospital, because I had to effectively learn to walk again.
Right.
The physio was there, and obviously I was sort of in a lot of pain and stuff. And the physio, obviously not physios are like that. So you got to do it. You got to walk across so I had to walk across the ward sort of thing and sort of struggle across. And that was just, I was in agony, but I had to do it because I thought no one wants to be sat in hospital all the time as a kid, especially do you? You're sitting there thinking, I've got to do this so I can get out of here, so I can go on. So I just walked across them sort of in tears, sort of in agony sort of thing, just moving along because obviously just pulling my stitches in my knees and all that sort of stuff as you try to move. And then I was walking across there, and then my parents walked in as I'm doing it, and you think, of all the time for you to walk in. So
Yeah.
Because it's always the way, and as soon as you're doing something, you think, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm walking across and howling my heart out, sort of thing, in pain, sort of thing. This physio saying, "Come on, keep walking," you know, that sort of thing. But I got across it, and then my parents walked in, and when I got back to my bed, and sort of like you're sitting there going, "Oh, I can't believe I did," you know, you're obviously in pain still.
Yeah.
They then actually pulled out of the bag and said, "Well, especially now that we've just seen you do that, because you're obviously trying to, you know, get yourself back on your feet properly again." They pulled out of the bag a G1 Soundwave as a present for me, like that, with buzzsaw, like thing. So obviously that do mean a hell of a lot to me, Soundwave. That does, but
Si's got the same type of story with Megatron. Si's got the same type of story. Yeah, that's awesome. Thanks for sharing that with us, TJC. That's awesome. Kieran says, "Hang on a minute, I'm sensing a theme with Terry's."
Yeah, Kieran, we did discuss this earlier, didn't we?
Our friend Rhino says the only movie Transformers are the ones. I love that movie. I love it. And then Andy got me a huge translucent, like holographic poster of it, and I thought, yeah, this is awesome. You know,
yeah.
I've always
some of the posters, the artwork, and some of the posters was amazing.
Yeah. I'm not going to say this, but I'll just put it up. he said, I don't know. Mr. B said, "Hello to the magician's side." There's this Timu version of that scene out of Jaws where they compared wounds. Oh yeah, she broke my heart. Do you remember?
Yeah,
absolutely brilliant. Yeah, that's an awesome Terry Soundwave bringing us joy. Yeah. So besides Optimus, so you're, because I know our size, like I say, he's Decepticons, but I like the Autobots. I like Bumblebee, but even though I say it, my two favorite toy as well as the characters was Skywarp. I loved Skywarp. I just thought I loved the colors of it.
The color, Grapple, yeah.
It was the toy Grapple, the orange. And then when they did it again a couple of years back, I got hold of that. The Grapple I loved. There was two. There was a red fire truck and there was an orange truck, because you'd use the same molds, wouldn't they, when we were kids?
Well, you had the red one was Inferno.
Yeah.
And then you had Grapple, was obviously the crane in orange. And then you had another one. I can't remember what the other one was called. But there was another one.
Was it light blue? Was it the other one? Was it a light blue?
Yeah, it was another variant, but I can't remember what he was called.
I think Si found it in Tub Thumpers ones, the light blue one. I think he did. Were you into Transformers as a kid, G?
Not really. No, I had who did I have? I had Cliff Jumper and Sideswipe. And
Sideswipe, yeah, I love the Lamborghini.
But those are all I had as a kid, and I played with friends of mine and stuff like that. But I always got GoBots. I always got the cheaper, even the knockoff robots and stuff.
They've just done something with GoBots with Transformers on Big Bad Toy Store. Have you seen the adverts on YouTube? So GoBots has gone into Transformers now. Is that? I never knew Hasbro had that license.
I think over the thing they got bought, didn't they? I think they bought out and then the license changed hands. So I think they actually can put them in a similar universe now.
Wow. Well, yeah, you see, even GoBots is making a comeback, boys. Absolutely brilliant.
The cartoon was good. I used to like the cartoon GoBots.
I don't remember the GoBots cartoon at all.
I used to be, if you remember, each summertime, you'd have obviously like the Wide Awake Club in the morning, wouldn't you? And it's sort of summer mornings. But they used to switch between them, you know, because I think they switched that you had Wide Awake Club, then you had the Roland Rat show. We used to do the same thing and have the same cartoons on, and then you used to have something else. So you used to have the same cartoons on, but you'd have Transformers one, but you'd get half a Transformers episode each morning, wouldn't you? So you'd have like to do it over 2 days to get one full episode. But they did the same with the GoBots cartoon, which is the original series. So you'd have that same thing like that. So you'd have Transformers one time when they run out of season 1 or whatever Transformers. Then they'd have GoBots, or they'd have something else, like, you know, another cartoon. I think Bill and Ted sort of adventures cartoon. Later on, they used to do different ones each time.
I remember the GoBots theme tune, but not the cartoon, says Ian. Hi, JT. Good old JT. Shabby, TJC and GFORCE. Nice to see you. Fun VT, Errol. Yeah. Absolutely brilliant. Well, good old JT's here, right? Let's get to your number 3. JC, because we've got you big. What's your number 3, buddy?
Yes, Kieran, there's a theme for me. But there is a downside to this, and this will upset Si. That's not number 1. But I had to get that.
Megatron.
I had to get the Megatron because obviously that's the studio series, and the robot is G1 spot on to the cartoon. I can't fault it for that.
Yeah.
So the only downside is what he transforms into a tank, but you know, but the robot form itself is a really good figure.
Yeah,
it's a brilliant figure, and that does really sort of look like obviously the G1 cartoon. So it is a really good figure. So that is, I had to get that because you had I got Optimus Prime, so I had to get the Megatron as well.
Does Jace like him? Your Jace like the Transformers?
He does. I mean, to be honest, Jace's main one was they did. I don't know if you remember, they did the Power of the Prime series.
Yep.
He loved dinosaurs at the time, and so he got the Dinobots. And that run of the Dinobots, they combine into Volcanicus. So they're like a combiner. All the Dinobots go into one big one.
Very cool.
So he's got them. He loved them because he just liked dinosaurs at the time, at the age he was when I got them. So I got him for them. But this is Hasbro in all this sort of like thing. He said, we can't make Megatron a gun. Can't make him a gun, so we'll make him a tank. But then we'll package with him his gun mode.
Oh, yeah. Super cool.
Why would you not just make the robot a gun if you're going to put that in there?
And it's funny that you should say that because they did it with the retro Starscream as well. They put Megatron as the gun in it so he can hold it as the actual gun, which
so
is weird.
He used to always transform into Starscream's hand and he'd shoot, in the movie when he took the Autobots out. So they put the gun in there. So they've actually said, like, yeah, we know he's a gun. So we've done a small version of him for the other ones to hold, but we make him turn into a tank.
The funny thing is, if they're going to do that, they should do it for all toys, I think. They shouldn't just do it for the one-off, especially because we know Megatron has that gun, don't we? We know that's what he is. And so they do it with it. And the funniest thing is, I remember they change him into a tank, which is a bigger gun.
A bigger gun, right. And I mean,
that's a gun with tracks on, basically, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
They make Nerf guns that are realistic looking. They make airsoft guns that actually fire stuff. BB guns that look like real pistols. I mean, kids can get guns. Are you telling me a Walther somebody's?
I think if I remember rightly, there was a story when I was a kid because I always wanted a G1 Megatron as a kid, but I mean, I know the robot sort of mode wasn't the greatest, really, if you looked at it on the scheme of things, but the fact that was obviously like chrome sort of thing, and that looked like the proper gun, and you could use it as like a pretend gun, like as a kid if you're playing army or something, whatever, you'd use Megatron, wouldn't you? Because that was a proper looking gun. But I think there was a story in the newspaper, or it might have been on the telly, where they said someone actually held up a garage with it. They actually held the pistol without the add-on sort of sight and everything like that, just the pistol, which looked like a Walther P-38.
Like more of a gun.
And they went at, so rather than see that was plastic, because the end was obviously plastic, you could see it was if you looked at it properly, but they obviously didn't see that, so they just thought, oh, is this a real gun? Because that's chrome and that looks...
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to be
and then that then brought a thing, and then you couldn't get Megatron for love nor money.
No.
So you couldn't find him. My parents sort of thing when that came to like Christmas or whatever birthdays at that time, because I got Optimus Prime for my birthday, G1. But then Christmas, obviously, I then wanted Megatron because, as you do, you want the other leader to have the,
Yeah.
And they couldn't find him for love nor money anyway.
So is he the only? So let me ask you a question, because I'm not the world's biggest So the G1 Megatron is the only one that comes as the gun mold, the only one.
Or because after that G2 they changed him to a tank.
Yep. And so that was the only time you could get him as the gun was G1.
Yeah, G1. Wow, G1 was just a remake of the Gun Robo, which was obviously the Japanese one. Takara Japanese Gun Robo.
I never knew that.
I mean, they even did a Man from Uncle version of it, didn't they? They did a Man from Uncle version of it as well.
Well, I never knew that. Yeah, that's surprising to tell you the truth. That's the only. So maybe that's why it's so nostalgic.
So when they changed it, the comic, all the way through the comic, the UK comic, even especially, he was always a gun.
Wow.
He never changed. He was always that pistol. He was always a pistol. But the I mean, even Galvatron, when they put him in the comic, he was effectively a triple change. They advertised him at, although it weren't a lot different.
Right.
He turned into the big cannon, which obviously he kills Starscream with, didn't he? He just transformed into that, shoots Starscream, doesn't he? So he transformed into that with the tracks on the front. But then you just fold the tracks up, and then you turn, and then that came down. You could have it as a laser gun that had the sound effects, didn't it?
That's
So
right. Yeah.
comically enough, she made it look like Galvatron could change into a small.
And Shockwave as well. Shockwave was like a laser gun as well, wasn't
He
it?
was a space gun, so he didn't
Space
actually
gun.
shrink down. He was just a big flying gun, basically. That was a bit weird, really. But
Biker Scout says, "Do any of you have the knockoff Transformers from AliExpress, Terry? I'm thinking of picking up the piece out. I think Tez has bought some. I think Tez, I know our size.
The masterpiece ones. Some of the masterpiece ones are amazing. But,
it's where Megatron's trigger dangled always abused.
Yeah, that was quite a comical one. Yeah,
JT, what's what he remembers? Yeah, yeah, Galvatron. Yeah, Megatron turned into Galvatron. Do you remember Gilster in movie? Brilliant. Yeah. Unicron changed him. It was awesome. I never liked the G1 robot mode. I felt as a kid, I felt cheated. This 86 one made my inner 10-year-old.
Robot mode. It weren't great, but it was still Megatron. You had to have Megatron, didn't you? You had to have him to go against Optimus Prime at the time. That would be what you're playing, wouldn't it? So.
Yeah, I think it must have been just back then the advancement.
I think the friend, as you always remember, you always have a friend who has one that you want, don't you?
Yeah.
So my friend got one. He got a G1 Megatron right at the beginning when I got Optimus Prime. He got Megatron, but his mum got it from a catalogue. So I think the catalogue used to get first refusal on a lot of things, and they used to, remember like Empire Stores or something like that, weren't it? Or them sort of catalogues.
Yeah,
they'd get first refusal on a lot of things, and then you'd have the option to go sort of put them on layaway, wouldn't you? For so many weeks at whatever, and then parents would use that to think, well, I'll get it now and I'll pay for it weekly, and then I'll wrap it up for Christmas or that. So I think his mum got that from the catalogue, so that's how she got it, because he was obviously from the initial run of it. But then after all the issue with they can't have it looking like realistic gun and all that sort of stuff, then that was just hard to find. My parents couldn't find it anyway.
It's funny that it's funny we're going back to the vintage G-Force and Terry and talking about I've been buying. One thing I wouldn't buy as vintage is the G1 Transformers. Though the minibots I don't mind because of how loose they always are. They're always
my Optimus Prime. We used to transform it so much.
Yeah, that's the thing.
You'd be sort of have it as the truck, and you'd be going along, and that just keep springing now and again because that get weak where you put the legs down.
Yeah,
because that used to wear on the teeth. So basically, when you pull on the legs down and stand him up as a robot, that'd suddenly ping back up again because they'd get loose. I think I tightened it up a few times, and that made it all right. But I think, like you say, just excess use, they just get worn out, don't they?
Rhino says, never liked the G1 robot mold. Oh, we've read that one. G1 fight Jetfire remains on my grail list and likely to remain so. Yeah,
Ian, if you want one, a friend of mine's got one.
See how it all comes
out.
That
is mint, and that's not yellowed, and that is still really white. So that's actually really good condition with all the parts.
What's your number 3, GFORCE?
Okay, number 3 is vintage stuff that people have given me.
Oh, wow, okay.
So, things that have been gifted, like the Snowcat from Sags, and the Triple T from Sags. And this thing that I customized was a cheap little personnel carrier.
But look how cool that looks.
Yeah, that's fun. What else do we have? We got the Falcon came from Andy Lemire.
Yeah, cool.
And then that I think I actually bought, but that's vintage, so we show it. And in this room, we have the Death Star that came
the American one,
from Jeff Barker.
He must have been going to because he sent me the mobile command center for G.I. Joe as well. And it's like, so what did you think when you got? You had no idea you were getting that, did you?
It just came in the mail. It showed up on the porch. There was no email, text, nothing. It just got there, and I was like, "Oh no, who is it from? Jeff Barker? What the hell?" This a buddy at work gave me. I don't know if it's going to show up good, Shabby. Let me try to.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So 1986, I think it said somewhere around there.
Hey, BOE, nice to see you.
Skeletor and Panthro, nice vintage glass. And then over here is just some fun vintage stuff. So that's my Walkman from 11th and 12th.
Does it have a
grade.
big aerial like VTRs? Remember VTR's
No.
aerial on it?
Oh yeah, that was good. Yeah.
That one has digital presets. But I don't know if you guys remember the Razor phone.
Oh yeah, I remember them.
Yeah, I had a Razor phone.
Pagers.
Yeah, I remember. I had a pager for work. Yeah.
Crackberry.
BlackBerry, yeah. Never had one of them either.
Yeah, lots of old. Oh, that game I used to play with my dad all the time. So those vintage types of things are. And this one I got at a where was it? Trackside Antiques, and they, unbeknownst to themselves, gifted me this in that box.
I've got to ask you, have you got a Lego version of Shabby there?
So the Shogun.
There you are, there he is.
Very good, very good.
The Shogun Godzilla instructions came in that little Astro Light box, which was awesome.
That Ripley figure is kick-ass, GFORCE, says our Ricardo.
Ripley, you like that one, huh?
What out of vintage stuff that you would are you still looking for? Like if you had to, so in other words, right? No, so money's not a thing. It's all hypothetical. But if tomorrow morning you wake up and you can have one vintage thing in your house that you wanted, what would you have?
Robo-Skull.
Would you have a Robo-Skull?
I think I would like a Robo-Skull.
That's iconic.
Probably be the hardest. The Palatoy Death Star, I would like it, but I don't have a connection to it, so it doesn't mean as much to me as it would.
Well, my older brother, because he had the Action Force, he had the Action Force cardboard headquarters, which with the top would fold out, and that'd be like
George has got about 8 of them all on top of each other.
Yeah, he used to have that, and that was actually quite a thing. But like I said, like the only problem with them cardboard thing was, yes, they had a coating on them, but then if someone like kids do, I think, spilt something on it, that gets all soft, and then it doesn't sort of starts to sag and stuff like that. I think he ruined it by. I think I actually did, because I was obviously younger than him, so I think I actually tried sitting on it to see if that would take your weight, but it did. I didn't break it. That was fine because that was new then. But obviously, once it had been battered and had a bit of sort of drink thing, they just sort of sag. And I think he threw it out. To be fair, but if he'd have known how much they're worth now, he'd probably be gutted, kicking himself.
To me, I think it'd be Visionaries. I keep looking. Remember, every time we go to Joe Fest, GFORCE, I always pick one up and I always have a look at it, and then I think, no, don't do it, Shabbos, because you're just going to go down this line, and they're not cheap. These bad boys. I mean, they are expensive.
Not that big of a line, though, is it?
It's not that big of a line, but we're talking. But the thing is, as well, it's getting one that looks nice. Do you know what I mean? Because usually the hologram's scraped, or it's missing, or the staff's missing, or the whip's missing, or the helmet's missing, and stuff like that. So I always, it comes up to me every month. Should I do it? Should I? And I think, no, don't bother. See,
Visionaries is Transformers comic.
Yeah,
did the second backstory of that.
Had
the Visionaries in, the origin story, so to speak, when it first started, when they got the part. They had that in the back of the Transformers comic at one point. That was like Transformers and Visionaries for a little while.
It'd be either that or New Adventures of the Galaxy Rangers. I always pick the most priciest ones. I loved them too. Do you know what I mean? The blue and white cowboys and the horses and stuff like that. It's a shame no one's done that again, because Fresh Monkey, they do the dime novel toys, the cowboys and all that. But how someone's not done like space cowboys or something yet? You know what I mean? I'd be all over that if someone jumped on that. I really would. Robo-Skull, a TIE fighter viewed while under the effect of Scarecrow's fear gas. That's a good point. That's a good way of looking at it. Yeah. Gilsa says Matchbox Voltron complete with figures. I don't think I ever had Voltron. I don't think I ever had anything Voltron. So that was a new thing for me. Let's have a look.
I'm looking for a Voltron, but not that one.
Oh, yeah. Did you have Voltron as a kid, lads?
No,
I didn't.
No, I didn't. I don't remember it as a kid, to be honest. Knights of the Old Magical Light, says plays in Palps. Does Linda Carter count? Well, If you're in that category, yeah. Look at JT. Oh, Linda Carter. Hi, George. Oh, he was just been talking about you, George, with the headquarters. Nice to see. Hi, Wizzy. Nice to see. Wow. Over 40 people. Brilliant. Thank you all so much. Everyone's turned up. See what happens when you get legends on like this. Absolutely brilliant. Everyone's saying hello to each other. No, but I think that's what I'd do. But sometimes you have to do it, don't you, TJC and GFORCE? You have to just sit back and think, I can't keep. You know what I mean? It's nothing worse when all your friends collect different stuff though as well. You all make the videos and you're all on online showing stuff and you're like, I should have just get that. I'll just get one. I'll just get one. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, but I've got you know.
Go ahead, TJ.
Well, I was going to say that I bought the gem doll and I'm a big fan of all to do.
I think everyone knows you bought that gem doll, Shabby.
The thing is, I was only going to get the one off because, like I said, Scuba's generally got me some vintage stuff as well. I think my mum's got me a vintage gem that she's sending too.
Oh, really?
And but I was saying, no, I won't do it. I won't do it. A bit like Matt did with his hot toys. But then when you see the new stuff, you're like, oh, well, maybe I'll just get that.
Yeah. I'll have that.
I'll just get one more. But no, let us know in the chat, anybody, what you would love that you haven't got if you could get it tomorrow. So everyone's saying hello to George, which is brilliant. Right. Well, we're down to number 2. This is fantastic.
Down
awesome.
to number 2.
Here we go. Number 2. Here we are at number 2. GFORCE, what's your number 2, pal?
So everybody that's in our group knows this is my current obsession. And this is Adventure People by Fisher-Price.
Yeah.
And I have now acquired 12 complete sets from this guy over, are all complete sets, since June. So this is.
So hang on, what's made you get back into this, GFORCE? Because
I had a ton of these as a kid. So these were bathtub toys around 4 or 5 years old, somewhere in that time frame, and then they started coming out with the space stuff, and you could just bring them outside. It's Fisher-Price. You beat the crap out of them, they still survive. Like, they're rugged toys. They're just awesome toys.
They're brilliant. They're brilliant. Look at the color. But I mean, these bad boys are built to last, aren't they? Let's be honest.
But they got little robots that come with their ships, little dinosaurs, working arms, cranes, propellers, and stuff.
Jeff Barker, talking about him again, he graciously gave me the moon rover. Do you remember the red rectangle one?
Yeah.
I just love this stuff. Love it. And it's not expensive, is it? Or can it get expensive?
No, it can. Some of the harder to find stuff, like this piece right here, is a motorcycle carrier.
Right.
It hooks onto a Jeep and the motorcycle hangs off it. That can go for $35. This little ladder can go for like $12, $13, $15.
Found it that in Greensboro, Ashborough that time, and you got it for Scuba. Was that adventure?
That was something different. That was Little People or Weeble Wobbles, one of those two.
That was right. Yeah, I remember you picking up something like that. Matt's Collection said he loves Adventure People. Yeah, Adventure People were brilliant. Wait, Shabby collects gem dolls, and you sure kept that quiet. Q says, my favorite Transformer in the lockdown studio version, but I didn't buy it because it's another. That's what we're talking about. You know what I mean? Exactly right. Wizzy says, PCB plastic lasts 200 years. How easy is it to find?
Pretty easy on eBay. I mean, like I said, I got that whole table since June. So
that's where you've been buying it from eBay or whatever?
A lot of it from there. That when we went, I'm confusing you and John. I'm sorry. John and I went to Selma, antiquing and thrifting and stuff, and I found some down in there.
Like Selma.
Yeah.
Smithfield's always nice as well. Down there, they've got some good stuff too.
Yeah.
But brilliant Adventure People. So what's the most pricey thing you've bought so far, Adventure People?
Probably the safari stuff. Because I had bought probably 3 or 4 different lots to complete it.
How much adventure stuff, people? There must be tons of it. There must be.
There's got to be. I mean, they pumped that stuff out. It was just like Star Wars in the late 70s. It racks and racks.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And obviously that was there comparing with Joe's and obviously Star Wars, Buck Rogers, that kind of thing. Did you ever get into it, Terry? Fisher Price Adventure People?
I think I might have had some when I was really young, but I think then my sister, obviously she's 5 years younger than me, so once I sort of like Transformers come along, that was everything. Between Transformers and Lego, pretty much for me was everything that I had. So I just stuck in with that. But I think my sister then sort of like inherited them for a little while.
Yeah.
But then I didn't really stick with them for very long.
I think Adventure People went for a decade. I think it was 75 to 85. And then like the Star Wars craze and everything was dying off. And I don't know if it was Joe's that did it or the mid 80s is about the same time, that type of figure, 5 POA or whatever.
The thing is, though, it's funny because we always talk about, it's like we were talking about the Transformers before about loose and all that sort of stuff. The thing about that stuff is, I would say 7, 8 out of 10, you're going to get it incomplete and in decent because it was made so structurally strong, wasn't it? I mean, it's not...
they were designed for younger kids to play with and pull about and sort of farm about and, you know.
Yep.
George says, Shabby brought a Gen toy to a Star Wars fight. Having Martin's face on number 2 is harsh and cruel. I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean. I agree.
Only if you point it out, kid.
Your Adventure People collection is really cool, GFORCE. Yeah, is there a certain what you're looking for? Like, I've got to get that one.
Right now, what am I really on the hunt for? More of the space stuff.
That's the stuff
where I'm heading now, but there's only like 2 or 3 sets that I need, so I'm not in any rush for it.
Condition is the key with Adventure People. The better the condition, the more expensive. You got a point there, yeah. Martin's number 2 is the gift that keeps on giving. I got you back. What do you mean? I don't know what you're talking about. So anyway, and the accessories are a bugger to find.
Yeah,
it was a lot of accessories to go with that, weren't there, and so forth. So
yeah, and that's part of the reason the Safari set's so hard is because it's got.
But you think about the age group they were aimed at, and all the accessories you got with them. Kids of that age are going to play with them, and then they're going to be everywhere, aren't they? That's why it's so hard to find the stuff.
Yeah, I suppose, but it must have, because it was as big in our country, wasn't it? TJC Adventure People, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, you see the adverts all the time. Adventure People, this set for this set for this.
Yeah, it was a big thing. It was. I would put it up there, advertising wise, and on what we all had as big as Star Wars. You know what I mean? We always saw stuff for Adventure People. It was always in the stores and whatever. Is GFORCE tempted to run a few of those Adventure Peoples into the prototype Star Wars figures? That's what they do.
I am, JT. That I don't know. I think I told one person that, but yes, I have plans to take some beaters and do up the prototypes like they would have presented to Kenner.
Brilliant. Yeah, an independent toy maker has actually made the Star Wars figures in the style of Adventure People. JT, Han, Luke, Obi-Wan. What, it's made JT? Oh.
When they were trying to sell them to Kenner, they used Adventure People. The old man hiker, outdoorsman, they threw a cape on him, painted him brown for Obi-Wan.
Well, Des is saying that the Nima Studios, and they're usually at the NEC. So maybe one of you will have to take a picture and we'll show it on Top 5, definitely. Yeah. That's them, Des Teeth. Thanks. GFORCE, if you found another Adventure People vehicle broken down, would you pick it up, repair it for custom? Good question.
I have thought about that too, turning a van into maybe a mystery machine or something like that.
Well, it's like what you've just shown us there. What SAG's got you. You got that old vehicle, and you did it all up, and you did it. So you do it with
repaint on it.
Yeah. Hi, Rob. Nice to see you, buddy. Good old Rob's here.
York.
Or have you already? So have you done anything like that with Fisher Price?
No, I haven't done anything with them yet.
Brilliant. Given I have my own action. Sorry, JT. Just the way you wrote it. I thought JT's a Star Wars figure. I don't remember JT in Star Wars. Everyone's saying hello to Rob, bless him. What's your number 2, TJC?
Right. Judging by the comment we got earlier in the chat about the G1 Jetfire.
Yeah.
Now, I remember the advert. I remember the character. And obviously, I remember the fact that obviously everyone wanted G1 Jetfire. They thought it was amazing, this, that, and the other. But obviously, as you know, the G1 Jetfire toy was just a licensed Valkyrie jet repainted.
No, I
So
didn't know
Hasbro
that.
licensed it, and because that weren't actually the Jetfire wasn't actually a Hasbro toy, they licensed it.
Right.
That was a is it Veritech fighter or whatever it is, Veritech Valkyrie, something whatever it is. So they licensed it, but then that caused a massive issue with in the States. They then couldn't put that version in the cartoon because that was licensed in the Robotech cartoon. Because that was obviously that caused that. There's a big thing on. I remember watching like a YouTube video on about it all about the licensing issues with that. That was just all over the place. So it caused a lot of issues. So that's why when the cartoon came out and Jetfire was in it, they even called it Skyfire, if you remember, in the cartoon.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, but the design of the jet was slightly different. That was more boxy and that was more squared edges rather than the actual toy that everyone had. But to me, that wasn't Jetfire. The Jetfire that I had was always the boxy shaped one because that was what was in the comic.
Right. Okay.
So I always looked at the G1 Jetfire and thought, yeah, it's a cool toy, but that's not the one that I really sort of know. So when I was at the NEC in April, that was the last day. That was obviously the last sort of hour sort of thing when they were packing up. I was walking around with Jace to see if there was anything he wanted because obviously he had a load of Funko Pops that weekend. And I was walking around and I saw this and I thought, that's the one I want. And I went up to see the guy and I got it for a really cheap price. He knocked another tenner off it because he was packing up and he obviously thought, well, I didn't want to take it home. I might as well just let it go. So I got a real cheap price on it. But this version is the comic book version to me. So I had to have that.
That's massive. Oh,
So that
cool.
was obviously the War for Cybertron Siege version of it, but that's obviously the one that was in the comic. So you've got the boxy shaped one, which is the cartoon one, but that's also the version that was in the comic. So that was the one I always had to have. But like you say, the size of it is absolutely huge. So you got.
That's super cool.
So that's the comic book version was always drawn like that. That is the version that I always knew. And just for Psy, they do. I think this spins. Yeah, it does. So it spins and changes it to a Decepticon logo.
Oh yeah, because I said before he's a traitor, did he? So
yeah, so you change that. So they've done that for obviously if you want it because he was. See, that's the thing as well with the origin version. Obviously, the cartoon said that he was a friend of Starscream's, if you remember, and he crashed in the ice. They defrosted him, and then he came out, and Starscream tried to get him to join the Decepticons. But in the comic, they run a storyline where the Matrix in the early sort of Transformers stories wasn't a physical thing like it is in the movie. That was actually a program of some description that was called the Creation Matrix in Optimus Prime, and he was the one who could obviously then create new Transformers life and everything. That he had this program or whatever to do it.
Right.
So then Shockwave, when that cover that Cy drew, and it said the cover on the front that says all the Transformers are dead or whatever, Shockwave defeated the Autobots and everything, and then took over the Decepticons for a little while. In that sort of like between him and Megatron, it was back and forward for quite a while. But when he done that, he then actually, to how they said it in the comic, he perverted the Creation Matrix from Optimus Prime. He had Optimus Prime's head in the machine, and he actually took that out, and he created the Constructicons. He made them in the comic, and then because they were obviously engineers and stuff, and they built everything. He then got them to build various other different things. But then Jetfire was then in Shockwave's mind was the new generation of Decepticon jets. So he was actually going to be the first of a new generation of Decepticon jets. Wow. So he then created Jetfire, but then sort of like there's a whole bit in there with, as he was called in the comic, Buster Witwicky, not Spike as in the cartoon.
That's right. Yeah. So
Buster then, Optimus Prime transferred it to Buster Witwicky somehow for like mind transference thing or something. And he sort of got it so he couldn't create he couldn't then create Jetfire as a proper Transformer. He was just more like a programmed robot. Really, he was not thinking. So then eventually, Jetfire joins the Autobots, and then he makes him a proper Transformer, or whatever Optimus Prime does at the end of the story. But that was the version that I always wanted. But
well, you can tell with your story though that goes with it that he's not just the toy. Then it's the actual, you know what I mean?
The character,
the character behind it. And so well, that's brilliant, man. I saw some Fisher Price prototype style. Yeah, I think that's what they were talking about, Biker. I think they were saying it's Nema Studios that Rob and Kieran were talking about. JT says, "I'm in Ewok's Caravan of Courage. Blink and you'll miss me, Shabby." Harmony Gold had the Robotech license for everywhere outside Japan and had an absolute fit over Hasbro's use of that toy.
Yeah, see, that was a massive license and nightmare.
Wow, it's a beast, that Jetfire. The only problem with that is when the Siege was coming and so forth, they had that Ultra Magnus. Remember in the big box that came and it had a slip cover, and they had them in Ollie's, do you remember? And they were $14.99, and I never picked it up because I thought, no, I'm going to stick with the 86. And then I realized the 86 one is that mold. So I don't know why. It's just, you know what I mean?
See, I would like that, because I think there's certain ones you can get a Galvatron Studio 86, can't you?
Yeah.
An Ultra Magnus, and I probably would like to pick them up at some point. I mean, it's hard to find them now. I mean, you get Galvatron in Smith's, I think toys. I think Smith's toys have still got Galvatron. But
that Siege Jetfire is the best Transformer Hasbro has ever made, in my opinion, says our lovely Mr.
Yeah, that is a really good figure.
Yeah. My childhood, He-Man, Mint on Card, Jedi Fair, Speeder Bike pedal. Oh, that Speeder Bike pedal car that JB's got. Oh my God. Have you ever seen this? So John Ladpulse has got he's got one. He's got a Speeder Bike pedal car. Wow. Awesome. I remember that was years ago. That's how long we've all known each other for. That was years ago when he showed that. I was like, wow, man, can't believe it. Power of the Force skiff, last 17 yak race. Brilliant. Top 5 probably be different tomorrow. Yeah, probably will. You have these. Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does, Rob. TJC, your knowledge of Transformers toys and cartoons is amazing. I suppose it's GeForce, isn't it? When you
I didn't know any of that.
When there's a toy or a merch or a franchise that you love, you try and delve in it, like the lads with Star Wars, I suppose, and me with Masters. You were trying. What is it for you, GeForce? What is it that you love to delve into?
I'm more music in that regard. Like, I don't really get like a hankering to get a Grail or like if I see it and it looks cool, I'm gonna buy it. But I don't really get geared up to get something.
Famous last words, GeForce, because as you said, you're taking on the Music Master in a couple of weeks. You're taking on the Champion Tez. So we'll remember what you just said there, GeForce.
I know, but famous last words.
Yeah, famous last words.
Could be. I think I got something for him.
Painkiller's wearing off. Watch the rest of the week. Cheers. No problem, Ian. We'll be around.
See comments like that, G. That's like saying Shabby plays fair and he plays games. See, it's the same thing. There's no weight to it, you know.
Listen, there's certain scumbags who play games with TJC, but I don't want to say. TJC, I enjoy these, by the way. I enjoy streaming them. Has it helped your channel at all, or has you got more people?
I don't know if it's. To be honest, that's not what it's about to me. Is helping the channel. I do the games, and I just enjoy playing them, and then people come in and chat, and we have a bit of a laugh and joke and stuff.
Yeah.
I need to do some more retro stuff as well, because I did a lot of the retro stuff as well at the beginning. So I do enjoy them as well. And yeah, they are difficult as hell. And a lot of people sort of like, can't believe I don't get stressed with it. And I'm just sitting there trying again and again. I think Martin, I think, watched one of them. I played no Ninja Gaiden, like NES game.
Ninja Gaiden,
which is like one of the hardest games I reckon that ever came out on it. And you're playing that, and there's like this one level, which there's this guy who does speed runs on it because he obsessed with this game. Like he done it, and I was talking to him, and he said the level you're on now, on that game, he says the hardest level in the game. He said because that literally throws everything at you. But because at that time the games then are, you get to a certain point, and if you don't walk that step further, that'll keep regenerating enemies. So if you don't get in, you have to. Whereas he's played it to death, so he knows all these places. Yeah. So if you don't get into the certain point on the screen, that'll keep throwing the previous enemies at me and the new ones. So yeah, that is, and like I say, that exactly. Martin was watching it. Martin Steph watched it and said, "How the hell do you keep calm when you're playing that?" He said, "I've thrown the controller out the window," but you know.
The worst thing is on yours, though, is because it's all right when you're on here like live now where you can see each other. The worst thing about being on yours sometimes is that you can't. I forget we're on. I forget we're streaming. So I'll come out with something and I think, oh God, Shabby, what did you say that?
See, I could. So I did say to Si, I said you can put where everyone's cameras on.
Yeah.
So I can do that, but I don't know if my computer would.
We've got like a bit of monks, won't you? You'd see us like that.
My computer is old. I do need to get a new computer. If I got a new computer, then we could probably do it and get everyone's faces on and do it, and then have it a bit more fun. You see everyone's reactions to things, and every time you call someone a scumbag and things, you know. But my computer is old. It's like about 12 years old, and I'll say that'd probably blow up.
No, I enjoy it, because I don't really play PlayStation. I play, size set this
for
up.
Me, the main point of them
brilliant.
Sundays was we started doing it, like not streaming it, but we started just playing games, like we're just chatting with Si and Brian and what have you.
George,
and he just said, "Oh, we'll we have a game on a Sunday night," and that just started from that. And I just thought to myself, well, we'll get everyone together. That's just everyone getting together on a Sunday night, having a laugh. Well, we know we're not brilliant at the games more often than not, and it's just about having the piss about, really.
Of course, it is. Dazzy T says, I miss C's Jetfire back when, first of all, hey, Dazzy T, nice to see you, buddy. Jetfire back when it was released, but picked up the OS knockoff from Alex. You're the second person to bring up AliExpress, Dazzy T.
They do.
Well worth 60 quid.
Ones,
I know everyone loves 86 Commando Optimus, but I think Jetfire is way better. Yeah, our site, like I said, I think it was Alex. Our site got a knockoff, and he thought it was great. It was a black transform, and it looked really good. And so that's the second one that said that. Kieran, effing right, got any spare?
Was it a black Optimus Prime?
I'm not sure if it was our site. If he's still watching, he'll probably write it in the
chat. If it was a black Optimus Prime, that's Nemesis Prime, that is.
You just see, he's a scumbag. Honestly, GFORCE. It's like he targets everybody, doesn't he? Hello, but Jim.
If you notice with Palps, when we're in a race, when he's coming up to you, because you can hear him sniggering. He's
you can hear him sniggering, right?
You can hear him. You can hear him. You think, oh, hang on. Where is he?
There's two things Palps does, right? When you know he's coming. First, it's the giggling, and also how quiet he goes. Don't say a word, and you think, yo, you scumbag, you're right behind me, or something like that. Do you know what I mean? The worst for him, though, is World War II. He's a sod for World War II. He really is. Good old Jim's here. How are you, Jim? It's lovely to see you, pal. Nice to see everyone. It's nice to see you, too. You've absolutely got no chance of my monkey game face. That's what I mean. So you're like,
Especially that when I nearly hit him yesterday on the crossover, and he was like, whoa.
And he says, it was Nemesis Prime. Yeah, it was a good one. Yeah. Hey, David from Lanzarote. He'll have a nice time. Oh, good to see you, David. So before we get to our number ones, I'd just like to thank, we've had over 40 people practically most of the night. So thank you all so much. It was awesome. And I also want to thank TJC and I want to thank GFORCE. I love doing top 5. I love it. I love the stories. I love seeing your collections. I love everything. So thank you both so much. But anyway,
everybody should do it.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope everybody does it. It's nice at Shabby's, isn't it? It's just easy, this, isn't it? Just sit down, having a chat with the lads. Yeah. Here's your number one. Well, number one, your collection, no doubt it'll change tomorrow, like everybody says. But what's your number one for this week, TJC?
Right. Well, this one, again, was as a kid. I'm pretty sure. Again, my parents tried to look for it everywhere because, like I say, I was really sort of lucky as a kid. Anything I normally sort of would ask for Christmas, I always got. I never.
That's awesome. Yeah,
I never went without. My parents, my dad had worked overtime, and mum would be working all sorts of stuff, like same as your mum did.
My mum was a legend.
They'd go hell for leather to try and give their kids everything. So my parents, I all credit to them. I never went without anything.
Was the lovely Cheryl like that too, GFORCE?
Oh, she was my enabler.
Yeah.
She went out and got the things.
But they looked everywhere for this and they couldn't get it. So they got me another Transformer, which was
Look at the chat. Is it a Transformer? I bet it's a Transformer.
So they got me another Transformer, which was very similar, which I love to bits because that was a really good toy and I've still got it. But the one I always wanted was in the comic. Now, the storyline in the comic, the UK comic, was obviously very different to what that did when it carried on in Japan, because Japan had this whole extra run where they just carried on with it, and that was a completely different story. Same characters, but different story.
Can I just ask you a question while you just said that? Just sorry to cut you off. Did you ever get into a position where you'd wanted to get the American ones or the Japan comics as well? You know, because you said before that you completed the UK one. So did you? Because I know a lot of lads, they'll buy the GI Joe, then they'll go for the Action Force.
Well, they did a Kickstarter not long ago, but I just didn't have the money for it. They did all of it where they've combined a big box where they put them all together, where you got the UK stories and the American ones, all together in one big box where they reproduced them. But I just couldn't afford it. That was a lot of money for all it was, and I just couldn't afford it. But all the American stories, for the most part, are in the UK comics because they were reprints at the beginning. So the UK stories, to be honest, a lot of American sort of like collectors, comic book people now want the UK ones because they want them extra stories that they didn't have. Got you.
Yeah, so even Lonzo saying here, Transformers versus Diaclone is very interesting, very different ideas.
Yeah,
Bob says you had to hunt high and low before the dark times, before the internet.
Yeah, we didn't have the internet then, did we? If you couldn't get it in like Argos or somewhere or somewhere like that, where it was local, where you had a shop near you or a big toy store, you couldn't find it, could you? Or
and Keith Knight says,
I do love you, Keith. Yeah.
You're not going to get past these lads. Go on, you carry on, TJC.
Yeah, so I always wanted this toy, but you couldn't get it because I think that was a store exclusive.
Right.
So Hasbro did a reissue, and that differs slightly from the original, but that's still a hell of a sort of figure. But you might have to zoom back a bit for this, but that's.
That is super cool.
It's gigantic.
Look at that. Fortress Maximus. Wow.
And that
I remember Metroplex.
That's the one I got. Mum got me that because that was similar. That was the Autobot City Metroplex, whatever.
Right.
But you couldn't get that anywhere, or they couldn't find it anywhere. So
was that the one when we were kids? Had the tramp that went round it with the thing that was that Fortress Maximus as a kid?
No, that's Omega Supreme. That
Mega Supreme, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So they couldn't find it anywhere. So obviously, I did a reissue, so I thought I got to have that, and that is up till recently, obviously, because that's changed now. But that's the biggest Transformer they ever made, and that's only, for context, 3 inches shorter than the HasLab Unicron.
Wow. I know you really wanted that, didn't you, that Unicron?
Yeah. So here it is.
Size of that,
it's a toddler.
So that's the Fortress Maximus.
That's massive.
Sort of thing.
And that's all one robot.
That's all one robot, yeah.
That is cool, man.
Actually, you got the little man standing on his shoulder.
Yeah.
That turns into the head of this, which turns into another robot. So you got that joins to this to make different robot, and then that can transform to make his head. So you got two headmasters basically in one.
Cool.
That was basically he was in the comics, and that was.
Yeah,
I always wanted, and then when they did the reissue, I thought I got to have that.
Jonathan says the current Diacon stuff is proper insane. Some HasLab level prices, but its combined bot is over 3 foot tall. Can you imagine? Terry, they have made a biggest, dickest Transformer. Do you want? Nice, Terry. Nice, Terry. Jim says a Transformer that turns into it. Yeah, that was Metroplex, wasn't it? That turned into the city.
So I got that.
Man, his little brother Jamie had it. I remember him getting it for Christmas or a birthday once, and it was awesome. And the way it all laid out, and it was like a tan color, wasn't it? With
train or something on it.
Yeah. So, but the Metroplex, the thing was what they did with that, which was quite weird. They had an extra little piece which looked like a chest piece with like a head on it, and that was it. But then the guns, Metroplex's guns, you took them out, and that became the legs of that, and his other guns were the arms. So it made another little robot which was just made of the guns. That was just like quite weird, but.
Brilliant, though.
Yeah,
brilliant.
But yeah,
so where'd you keep all these though, TJ? Where'd you keep them all? Do you keep them? on a shelf.
Well, at the minute, they're just sort of sharing room with Jason's stuff.
Yeah,
because obviously the back bedroom.
how is he though with your stuff? Because my kids are very respectful. I'll be honest here. My kids are very respectful.
He looks at him, and when he saw the Fort Max, he looked at that and he was playing with it for a little bit, and he was just like quite into it for a little while. But his attention span was something like that. He's not like us.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense what you say.
And then he's like, yeah, that was good. That I enjoyed that. But then he just gone iPad.
I love seeing old Terry's Transformers, but the stories he's told have made them special. What a nice thing to say, Kieran. I completely both of you. You've told some great stories tonight. Awesome. Right. What's your number one, GFORCE?
Okay, so I keep my kids chained to the water heater in the crawl space so they don't fuck with my shit.
Right.
What you talking about toys, NG? Or
anyway, I think everybody knew this was going to be her, but Visage Mythos, statue is just. She was my first video I did on YouTube. I love Visage, the character, ever since I saw her. And this thing is just awesome.
Yeah, it is. So what was it about that? What is it about? Was it the character? Was it just the actual statue itself?
Right there, the face.
How they've not put her in live action yet is beyond me, to tell you the truth.
I mean, she's just so badass. And I mean, these are great. Don't get me wrong. She looks good, but with the hood up and the Night Sister garb and everything, it's just so cool.
See, I'd be scared to death with all those, all the pieces. If you break it, if it snaps or whatever.
Well, this base is one piece. Her body is another. And then her arms and heads are the only other pieces.
What do you think of that, Terry?
She's a looker.
It's massive as well, G. It's not small. It's a big piece.
No, it's about 23 inches tall.
What year? When did you get that, Chief? What year is on that?
Oh, 2019 is when I.
So G, just for size benefit, if they do a 5-foot version of that, a real action figure, are you going to buy one?
Maybe. I could be tempted. Slab may have me on that. I don't know.
Just love the way you signed up dead seriously. You went for size benefit. Size benefit. Jim says it's all fun and games. So your kid Nick's one of your favourite toys. Yeah. We had some people in fixing. We had a new fridge installed. Ooh. One of the neighbours, his son lives in Washington, and he came out and me saying hello, and he's got a 3-4-year-old, who's only tiny. Gorgeous, this kid, lovely little lad. Well, obviously his dad's helping out with his fridge or whatever. So I said to the little lad, "Do you want to come in the toy room?" And worst thing I ever said, man, because he's just honestly he's coming and he's picking up this and he's picking. Oh, look at this! But then he noticed my gem dolls on the top, and he goes, "Why have you got girls' toys?" Trying to explain, he's only 3. Trying to explain to this kid just looked dead perplexed, like, "What we got that for?" Do you know what I mean? But it was brilliant seeing him. Yes, says Si.
Hilarious.
The winner is GFORCE, says Martin. I got a Fortress Max a few years ago. My mate's shop was selling them for 50 quid. Wow, George. That's amazing.
Well, I'd hate to think what they're worth now. What if you got the original?
Mr. B says that statue is absolutely brilliant. That statue is cool as France, GFORCE. Whoa. That's nice as our DTM. Magnificent statue, but it's close to being a doll. It's close to being a doll. That's GFORCE's doll.
Another one. There you go.
Oh, mine was 5 foot. Mr. B, brilliant. Again, Castiva Green. Yeah, she'd make a great Assange Ventures. I agree with that.
That'd be good.
Yeah. Look at that. Thanks, Gilster. Now thinking about Eva Green. Don't see her much in stuff anymore, do you? No. She used to be massive.
Seen her in nothing for a while.
Great seeing you both express how much you enjoy. Yeah, you two have been. I agree with our Des. You two have been absolutely brilliant. We've been asking the same questions, Shabby. Jemmy's truly outrageous. No shame. Exactly. That's the way. Thank you, Jim. That's the way I've looked at it.
Or how much did he pay you, Jim?
How much did I pay? Well, there you go. There you have it. There is TJC's and GFORCE's top 5. Brilliant. What have you liked of each other's?
I like what was the Megatron? That was my favorite. Like I said, I don't know much Transformers, so it's hard for me to.
Yeah, I think. Well, to be honest, if you look at it like that, that's the first Megatron I've ever had. I never actually got one as a kid. Like I said, the G1 one I couldn't get anywhere. And I certainly didn't want the tank version of it because.
So you're the same as our side. The Megatron should be the gun.
Yeah, he should be a gun. Yeah, but I got that because the G1 robot version of him does look really like as per you'd expect him to, but just turning him into a tank, that was just
I think for your favorite, I like that Jetfire. That Jetfire was awesome.
Really cool.
I always have an issue though with white toys. I'm always wetting myself like, and they don't really. I've got a few things in here that have stayed white, and I'm lucky with my Star Wars collection. The Biker Scouts, so they've always stayed white, so I'm quite happy with that. Maybe it's the temperature in here, whatever. I don't know, but yeah, I did like that Jetfire. And for you, it was that Adventure People. I haven't seen Adventure People look like that in ages. I always see it in people's collections here and there, but not like that.
To be honest, you always remember Adventure People being like if you go to the dentist for the little corner bit where your kids used to sit when you're in the waiting room.
Yeah,
they'd always have Adventure People in the corner for the kids to play with.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, they did.
They'd always have them in that. They'd always have them.
Yeah.
Playmobil and those little colorful wooden block mazes.
Yeah, them too. Yeah, they've still got them.
Top 5 amazing, great episode. Grimlock King, just ask him. Kieran says, question for Terry. Do you actually collect anything other than Transformers? Annuals? You've got a sugar load of annuals.
Yeah, I've got. Well, that was like a skin. My mum used to get some every year.
Oh, that was impressive though. Because you thought that you showed too many. You didn't show enough to me. I thought I would have gone through all them annuals. Brilliant.
For me, that's like I do collect stuff like comics that I used to. Obviously, I've still got all my Transformers comics, but I've got a lot of the comic runs they did after that. Obviously, got all the All Hail Megatron sort of IDW sort of series they did. I've got them.
Yeah.
I got the when they did that the Battle Action Force, what they redid. Remember that when they did the books of all them original stories? I got them.
Brilliant.
So I grew up reading all them because my brother got them, so I used to always read all them. I've still got the original comics of them as well, to be fair. I've got everything from when I was a child. I've still got everything. So I've got a mix of things, but mainly for me, as Transformers toys wise, but pop culture wise is DVDs and Blu-rays and stuff. I've got all sorts of stuff.
See me, I go with you. See, look at all those CDs and stuff that G4. Hang on, let me just make you big right there. Look at all them bad boys.
Yes,
but I'm the same as GFORCE. We're eclectic, aren't we? We collect.
Yeah. I mean, I'm watching these is the thing because we grew up with these, and let's say you don't really get them on telly anymore. Probably because they're not PC or whatever you want to call it. But I'm watching them with Jace, and he is absolutely pissing himself laughing watching that. And like we used to, and that's all like the old Looney Tunes. Like,
how's that not PC? The Looney Tunes is brilliant.
All the Looney Tunes in a box set, which Chris Smith-Lloyd put me on this because he bought them and he watches them with his kids. And he just said, "You got to get them." And I thought, well, I didn't realize he did them as a box set, so I got them all. And you got them. You watch them, and you got to say, Jason's sitting there pissing himself laughing at like Roadrunner and Coyote getting whacked by anvils and things.
TJC, would you get Lego Transformers and would you build them and keep them in the box?
I've got the Optimus Prime. I do want to get some more because I've got that because I was going to build it with Jace, but we haven't got around to it yet because he had all his Star Wars stuff to do. But
great collections.
I do want to get the Bumblebee, and you got Soundwave now as well, haven't you?
Yeah, the Soundwave looks good. Thanks again, Tez, for the Scream horror comic books as our side.
Yeah, so I've got that book, and Si, when I showed him that, I think we were on an Instagram call or something. I showed him that, and he knew all the artists because he said they did so many other things like 2000 AD and all them, which I've got comics of them as well. So I sent him, ordered him one and sent him the book. So I said, just in case you can't find it anywhere, that's here now. So I got him one just as a gift.
As he T says, loved Battle Action Force. Have they been collected? You've got a few of them, haven't you, Tez?
I got them. I got a few of them, and I got the when they reissued them the whole lot. So I've got all of them. No.
Brilliant, man. Absolutely brilliant. Well, anyway, there you go. There's top 5. I've loved it. Absolutely. Honestly, tonight's has been absolutely brilliant. They always are. They're really good. But anyway, please like, please subscribe. We have a Patreon if you'd like to join that. Helps the channel grow so Shabby can keep making videos like this. But apart from that, it's been awesome. We've got on what is it? On Wednesday, Simon's good old size doing his Lego night on our channel. So that'll be on Wednesday. Have you two got anything coming up that you want to talk about before we go?
Well, if you don't mind for a second, I have been absent from YouTube and chats and stuff, and I just wanted to kind of take a minute and show you guys why. The adoption paperwork has finally come through, and I am the parent of a monkey lizard.
I don't know if I've got to advertise that, but
brilliant, mate, brilliant. And do you think you go back to your videos, GFORCE?
Not anytime soon. I'm having fun just doing it on my own.
But you keep
don't have to worry about filming everything.
You're keeping your channel up though, aren't you, pal? It's not as if it's going.
Yeah, I'm not taking it down. I put a lot of work into it. If people want to go see old videos of toy hunts.
Brilliant. Wicked top 5, fellas. Some great pickups there. Good night to Shabby, GFORCE, Terry, Superman, and Superman. Hope you find your quest for peace. Brilliant.
Yeah, but I might do another stream tomorrow because I did a Terminator one again today, and I might carry that on tomorrow. But that'll probably be in the afternoon.
Awesome. All right. Well, yeah. If you advertise it, yeah. So, like I say, the links to both your channels are in the description. So I'd love it if you got a couple more subs. Great stream tonight. See you all for Wednesday Legos night. Yeah. Thanks, lad. No, it's good to see you and Desi T. So nice to see you both.
Yeah, good to see you, Jim.
Brilliant. Right, so there you have it. Another one. Monkey lizard. They can be a handful. Don't feed it after midnight or you might get wet. I'll get it wet. Thank you, Jen. No, thank you, Rhino. Thank you to everybody. We've had a massive positive. It's been, like I say, 40 all night. So thank you all so much. Absolutely brilliant. And we'll see you Wednesday, and then we'll see you on Friday. It's on Tez's channel, CSR Friday. So we'll see you again. All right. Say goodnight, lads. See you, everyone.
Night all.
See you.